Kurnoff, the hunter, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Jaeger has shown to be adopting more animalistic aspects in the midst of battle.
And he has a cool fang necklace.
Hell yeah.
Kurnoff, the hunter, rather. And it's also worth noting that before leaving Kelmar, you also secured a relic weapon.
Yes. And after getting it identified, Taliesin actually handed that over to Say because he knows that she understands its importance and also knows that she'll get the best use out of it.
All right.
Oh, that actually brings me to my first question mechanically. Are we playing with the variant rules of that were kicked around about attunements equal to proficiency modifier, or are we not doing that?
Um, let me think about it. For the moment, we'll play according to base proficiency rules, but I might change that to proficiency modifier. I'm sorry, that sentence made no sense. Um, Sticking to basic attunement rules, but we might switch to proficiency modifier. I want to give it a little thought since you brought it up. That's a very good question to ask.
Um, so in the meantime, then she would unattune to her cloak of elven kind and attune to the relic.
Alrighty. I'm going to make a point of getting a more solid ruling for you by next game.
Okay.
How did you have Cloak of Elven?
I got it at the beginning of fucking game. I got a cloak of elven kind before you did.
I thought you had the Boots of Elven kind because you had another cloak that you were using
Nope.
to get you web walk.
Oh wait, right. No, it's boots of elven kind, and then it's this fancy boots, or a fancy cloak, and I'm not giving up my cloak. I am giving up my boots of elven kind, though.
The boots of elven kind do not require attunement.
They don't? I thought I looked it up, and they did.
Let me double check that. I'm checking the Roll20 compendium. Let me check 5e2. Hold on.
It is worth noting.
Go ahead.
And the DMG.
Yeah, I was going to say it's worth noting that Taliesin has not yet put back on his Cloak of Elven kind, so it is not attuned. He doesn't have any bonuses from that right now.
Alrighty. Thankfully, the party doesn't really need to worry about stealth right now because no one will search for them on the bottom of the sea.
All right, I got the write-up from the DMG from 5e Tools.
Do they need galleon?
Oh,
Oh God.
I think that means that she's dropping the enchantment from her gun then, because I think that there was something extra attunement that she was running around with, and it might have been Alistair's enchantment on her gun.
The gun.
I think that's just an infusion that Alistair manages, so that would
it requires infusion.
All right, I resume.
I'm sorry, it requires attunement. So
okay,
you can unattune to that.
Yep. Base gun.
Understood.
So if you right-click it, you can attune to or break attunement. I think you got it. Just remember, you'll have to adjust the modifiers.
Okay, so as I mentioned, if anything else pops into anyone's head as we go, please voice it. It won't be a disruption. I definitely want to address anything that's on anyone's minds tonight. So, with that summary out of the way, Valor Company headed off into the sea at the end of the last day. And we are going to fast forward through that walk a little bit. because the water at that level is very murky, and it's nighttime, so it's kind of hard to see. Um, you
Connie
guys,
did cast her dancing lights.
yeah, that helps. That create. I think that was what lured some of the fish over. If I didn't make a mention of it, I'm definitely making a mention of it. That has drawn little fishes here and there to entertain the group with as you all moved along the bottom of the seafloor.
I
Uh,
thought I also did dark vision potions for everybody.
Yep.
They did.
Perfect.
Oh.
So the environment immediately around you is illuminated, invisible, and is kind of alien. Just kind of like walking along the floor like that, movement slow, sounds kind of dampened by the ocean around you, being able to move in 3 dimensions. Um, yeah, I imagine that'd be kind of very surreal experience. Um, you all maintain an idea of your heading and where the shoreline is in relation to you. Um, Plus, Taliesin and Say are familiar with the lay of the land in this area, so everyone is able to kind of follow along the curve of the land, trying to get as far away from Kelmar as possible to make the most use out of your potion. You do know that once you leave the bay, there are some ships patrolling out along the shoreline, so it's best to try and get away from there as quickly as possible. So we're going to say that you spend a good chunk of the night walking through the ocean and eventually starting to uh, come up towards the surface once you see some sunlight beginning to peek through the upper reaches. Just the very early dawn light starting to break the water, and you all head inland and climb up the rocky slope. Hello, cat. Um, the rocky slopes until you finally break water and find yourselves on a very rocky coastline. Oh, what I did? I'll just move to a different page. Rocky coastline at the foot of some steep cliffs, scree-strewn slopes that lead up into low mountains that kind of stretch on either side of you. So at this point, it is morning. Um, you had rests back in Kelmar. You have time to kind of camp here if you like to dry off, get in a long rest, or push on. If you decide to push on, you won't have to worry about exhaustion or anything right now. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where you find yourselves as you've emerged soaking wet onto this rocky scree.
Start prestidigitation, get rid of all the water off myself.
Yeah, I'll help with getting with the prestidigitation efforts.
Yeah, he's gonna shake violently, like a canine, to whoever helps him.
Alistair spends the better part of 10 minutes just kind of doubled over, spitting water out.
Are we thinking about stopping for a full rest, or are we pushing forward?
There's a lot of walking. It's still early morning, though. We could push on until early evening and then rest. Start walking again during the night.
I think we should get some distance away from the water.
I agree.
Righto. As far as traveling goes, we're gonna start getting higher in altitude, and we're all quite wet. Maybe spend a little while and dry off.
I mean, we've been drying people off.
Kanane starts prestidigitating Alistair.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no.
Station is becoming hand dryers.
That actually brings up a point that I touched on real briefly. Since you did have time in the city to make preparations, How I'm going to handle it is like this. If at any point you want to say that you bought warm weather clothes or climbing gear or anything like that, just say so and we'll retroactively deduct some funds and say that you have.
Yeah, Jaeger's absolutely gonna have that done.
Let me check my bag of holding.
Yeah,
see if it's,
likewise.
Same.
I'm gonna say I have 2 different sets of traveler's clothes, so I figure one of them's warmish weather, coldish weather stuff.
Yeah, this way you don't have to kind of worry about what you might need for this scenario. The party has proven, well, sometimes the party can make some very questionable decisions. They are also more than capable of preparing themselves for difficult scenarios, having had experiences with difficult scenarios. So,
Do we have any other climbers kits in the party? I know we have one, at least one.
Good job.
Taliesin would not have gotten one of those since he would rely on wild shape. Out of character question, since we're not taking a long rest, did I actually cast water breathing, or did Klinkle have a stable potion that did it? I just need to know to make sure I'm managing my slots right.
Best bang for the buck.
Yeah, I believe Klinkle covered both the dark vision and the water breathing.
Okay.
Jaeger does not have that kit.
No, Kanani doesn't have one either.
All right. We can add more to the equipment. Trying to remember what the party funds are.
I just saw them. Hold on.
We do have rope, and I do have spider climb.
I have rope.
And there's several options of levitate as well.
All right, so we'll hold off for now then.
Well, apparently my 5e tools thing is kind of broken because I can't search for any items here.
Oh no, through plutonium or?
No, I had loaded 5e tools in a separate window, so I didn't. Just because I figured it'd be easier to navigate. But
your search filters might be jank.
Yeah, I think so.
Root funds or an adventure log.
Adventure log.
Yeah, Kanani only
Thank
has
you.
like one set of clothes that she has because she doesn't learn from her mistakes.
Jaeger's gonna make sure that Kanane and Klinkle have warm gear. Even though they have fur and feathers, they need to have warm stuff.
Oh yeah. I'd imagine the party would have been like, hey, we're going to be going into the mountains. Let us buy some warmer gear. Like, before they left.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, will they be traveler's clothes?
Well, it's like I already have a set of traveler's clothes. I just imagine getting something a little. Like if I made another icon or another item, it'd be like warm weather clothes.
Yeah, I'm making some notes on my end so I can look some stuff up later. Who else is making a note to buy some warm clothes?
Does my adventure coat count?
Yeah, you're like sweating in that thing.
Perpetually.
I think if you haven't gotten sick of that coat in warm weather, then it must not be heavy enough. So.
All right, I'll deduct two gold from the party funds and say that Alistair has a warm coat.
You can just dress in layers.
Kind of feel like it's not part of my starting equipment officially, but and I'm happy to deduct money for it. But I kind of feel like I would have appropriate card for this. This
yeah,
time.
Felix. Out of everyone, Felix would definitely have a set of warm clothes. They probably have a climber's kit of their own, just as kind of backup material. Not that they need it all that much, but just in case.
Yeah, Taliesin would have a modified version of what's captured in the image I shared in Gen Chat. which is an old French cloak that has lapels that come up and button up to cover your face.
Oh yeah, the leathers, the oiled leathers. Yeah, those are great.
Yep. Only those are his would be properly fur lined, so it would actually be helpful up there.
Works for me.
Those look cool. Jaeger's gonna get a set of that too.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Say would also, and then she's gonna use her cloak of the arachnid as like the secondary part on it.
The mantle, yeah.
The mantle. So that's a thing.
Awesome. I love the look. Jaeger, you're considering when you were shopping in Kalmar and their clothing is designed for a very particular physique. So, you might have to have, say, let out some of the seams later since it's a little tight.
All right, so who all has picked up a warm coat? Taliesin, you got a warm coat?
Yep. Warm coat, gloves. Yep.
I also got.
Say has warm.
I bought a warm coat. I'm raiding my parents' house for some other shit though, cause like. I mean, we got cold weather gear, I'm sure, for training purposes at least.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So Jaeger had fashioned a hooded owlbear cloak. How warm is that? Like that was pretty late game, so he didn't get a lot of time to travel and get warm with it.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's pretty warm. I think plus Jaeger, if I remember correctly, Goliaths have they're accustomed to extreme temperatures.
Yes.
So I would say that as far as stacking up warm clothes, you don't have to do a whole lot. If you want a fancy coat, you can take the fancy coat and just use the owlbear cloak for warmth, or walk around bare-chested with your owlbear cloak just by itself. However you want to go about it.
I'll let the elves have the wolf coat, and Jaeger's gonna wear the owlbear coat.
Plus,
like it.
Intimidation in cold weather.
I mean, the owlbear cloak still has the owlbear head on the top, right?
Yes.
That has to be the good part.
That is.
All right, I've deducted the requisite amount of gold.
Yeah, because Kanani would have gotten a coat.
Check your inventories. You all have warm coats.
Hooray!
Yay!
I was gonna say I
Yeah.
stuff from way back when.
So the coats you don't necessarily have to worry about in game now, since you're still at sea level, but definitely as you make your way higher, you do recall that during your travel up to Skyhammer, when you were in the airship and when you were in Skyhammer itself, the temperature didn't seem to bother anyone all that much. But when you were outside of it, you definitely felt it a lot more. In the valley where the Goliath's camp was pretty chilly. Flying with the Griffins was pretty cold. But Skyhammer and the airships were fairly comfortable, all things considered. Alistair, you would probably come to the conclusion that it would have something to do with the etheric energy in both the airships and Skyhammer itself.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
Then Jaeger's only gonna have to make sure he has climbing gear.
Climbing gear is 25 gold pieces. I can make that happen.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to have to work with you to figure out how to clear my 5e settings later.
Is 25 each person? Or is that for everyone?
For one package, for one climbing kit, it can be reused.
Okay.
We have one in the bag of holding, but they can break.
Yeah.
Speaking of climbing kits, as the party finishes drawing one another off, checking your weapons, making sure nothing is prone to rusting, that no water has gotten into places where it shouldn't be. You do have this steep slope ahead of you leading into the foothills of the mountain. Definitely looks it's climbable, but it looks like it might be for many of you. You might have a hard time with the angle of the slope.
So it's like not quite a sheer slope, but it's really steep.
Yep.
Are there footholds for grabbing onto stones and?
There are scattered bits of stone kind of poking out of the ground. As it goes further up, it's hard to tell which might be how deep some of them are. But there's a fair number of it.
Can we do a tenses for this chain again?
That's actually what I was just about to ask. We could float a bunch, and I could definitely carry several on top of my shoulders as a giant elk. And elks climb fairly nice.
I'm sure Jaeger can climb pretty well too. Unless the slope is somehow hard for him.
The angle poses a problem, but it is climbable. Like it's not a I can't. I'm not good at math angles.
Is it steeper or shallower than 45 degrees?
Steeper. It's probably in the area of, let's say, around 60 to 70 degrees.
Ooh, that's rough.
Like I said, still climbable, just difficult.
Having climbed up a slope like that of loose earth and stone, that is not an easy thing. Like, that is a shit thing to do. You actually slide down more than you climb up unless you have something anchored up top and you have, like, someone helping you.
Closer to 60 degrees.
How
Just to
tall?
kind of strike that fine line between.
Can I roll a perception check to find a platform, a point that we could potentially get a foothold, get there, and then make our way further up from it?
You can see the slope itself at this part of, and it seems like this is just kind of along the coastline here. The slope itself is about 100 feet. You can see that it doesn't quite level off, but it gets shallower towards the top of this slope and seems to kind of dip and move in more easier to traverse land beyond it.
We have climbing gear, right?
Yeah.
Say can just set pitons on her way up because she just can walk up the fucking cliff.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Create some handholds on her way up for everyone.
Yep.
Very easily done. Break open some of the kits, pull out some of the pitons, and with the power of her cloak, Say has no problem scaling this whatsoever. Say for you, it just feels like a nice fresh walk. You're no longer hindered by the weight of the ocean around you. So this is a nice way to stretch your muscles as you kind of head up the slope, kneel down to kind of bang the pitons into the ground, and make your way all the way up to the top to wave down at your companions. As far as climbing goes, with the pitons kind of spread out for easy grabbing, I'm going to say anyone can make a athletics check with advantage to climb up.
Athletics with advantage. Oh, this is going to be fun. Alistair's noodly, so I would like to go first if that's okay. That way someone can maybe catch me if they fall.
I don't have Featherfall today, but and also I'm scrawny, so hopefully Jaeger will be able to catch you.
Either will catch
Hopefully, yeah.
everyone simultaneously.
I mean, he does have powerful build. If we just, muckle onto his shoulders. I was just going to try to do it. So this is going to be athletics.
Yep. With advantage.
-1. That's an 11. That's 13.
Okay. Alistair, with a 13, you make it halfway up the slope before your arms are aching, and you find that you have to pause to kind of reset your grip, and you feel like you're teetering a little bit. So you just kind of like belly flop against the slope, and you're not entirely sure how you're going to continue up.
Oof.
You need a breather.
All right, I'm just gonna stay put and kind of just stay in place, see if I can brace myself.
Are you okay?
If I
Doing fine. Doing just fine.
if I get the rope set so that they can climb, I'll probably go walk back down to like offer hands to people, especially some of our people who are less able to climb.
Say watches Alistair make it halfway up in a belly flop and takes pity on the poor boy. Yeah.
Actually, she'll just look at him and go, I feel like I should offer you a piggyback ride.
Oh, it's fine. I got this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, piggyback.
Okay.
Time
All
to
right.
cast Tensor's floating disc as a ritual, because worst case scenario, I sit on it, I'd pull myself up while I sit.
I have a gross
Legged.
I have a gross athletics, so I'd probably just carry him up bridal style.
Insult to injury.
Yeah, say you experience no issues. If you like, you can set a rope down for everyone to use, but you can also, you do have a gross athletics, and Alistair's kind of noodly.
I'm gonna do both. I'll set a rope for people who I trust can climb, and then I'll just bridal style Alistair all the way fuck up.
Much obliged.
Happy to help.
Appreciate it.
What was
Would you look at this view?
As you look out, and ahead of you is the sunset sun stretches off to the north, and to the south of you, you just see the rising Black Fang Mountains. And you can kind of see, looking up at the mountains, that the rocky slopes seem to get darker. Like whatever mineral is in the upper reaches of the Black Fangs is apparently responsible for the name of this particular mountain range. And Felix, what were you saying?
What was the DC on the climb check?
13 made it up halfway. Say did toss a rope down, and that is going to lower the DC.
Okay. I am going to try to remember that I have some of these things that I have. So Felix is going to go ahead and use a channel divinity to get proficiency in athletics. And we'll take this advantage roll.
Yep.
Haha, that's not great. Oh, still not great. Math is hard. 11!
11.
Felix kind of scrabbles a little bit.
Yeah, there's some scrabbling. The rope definitely helps. You make it 3/4 of the way up, and you start to feel that sensation of kind of falling backwards, so you kind of scramble even harder to make it the last 25 feet up to the top of the scree, and stays right up there to help you out the last bit of the way. You definitely feel like you just made it.
I just that looked a little bit rough for you, Felix.
It's all good. I'm here. It's nice to be up high again.
Good going.
Konami will be up next.
I'll follow up behind Konami.
She's got a +5 to athletics, so she should be okay.
Famous last words. Athletics with advantage.
That is an 18.
Oh yeah. With the rope there, you manage to climb up to the rope, you grab it, and you find just the right way to kind of like lean back as you're pulling yourself up, and you find a very comfortable gate to kind of walk the way up to the top of this hill to meet up with your companions. You feel invigorated by the climb.
It's nice up here, isn't it?
I think I enjoy climbing up better than falling.
I mean, you can do one and then the other, really in either order. But you don't have to. You could just climb if you wanted.
Falling is much faster.
Falling is pretty quick.
Your terror by falling upwards.
There's a spell for that.
Yeah, Sei would remember that Konani is afraid of heights and would definitely go down to offer an arm to, or offer some, if anything else, but like, I will grab you if necessary.
He was very focused on the top and getting there, so she didn't really have too much trouble. She just didn't think about going up higher, but she appreciates Sei's help.
Sei kind of walked like the last half of that climb beside Konane, and Konane was very intent. Like this was kind of impressive. Taliesin.
I rolled a 13.
13. Your muscles are a little stiff from the walk under the water. You are able to make it to the top using the rope to kind of haul yourself up, but you're kind of panting a bit as you get to the top. You think you needed to stretch out a little more before you gave that a go.
Should have just become a fucking animal. I dust off and look down at the remaining people at the foot, which I believe is Klinkle and Jaeger now.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we did all those floating discs before, because like it's not on my list. So I know we had several people that had it. But...
Yeah, I think Felix and Alistair both did, and then I feel like there was maybe one and maybe some in the Ring of Spell Storing as well.
Yeah, the Ring of Spell
I thought I had
helped.
cast them last time, but
I mean everyone probably cast them.
Oh, Alistair.
Yeah.
We almost forgot Emmett.
Emmett has to make an athletics check with advantage. The good boy.
I mean, then couldn't Klinkle just sit on Emmett's shoulder since he's powerful build?
Maybe. He doesn't have powerful build.
Damn.
Jaeger is powerful.
Piggyback ride Jaeger.
The bird will make an attempt because my athletics isn't any worse than some other people's.
If Konane can do this, then surely Klinkle can.
I'm not even gonna roll the second one.
You never know. You might get a nat 20.
What's that gonna do me?
You'll actually fly.
Fly like an eagle. Oh, wow.
Right. Klinkle sets out with the intent to prove herself. She walks up the slope like some birds seem to walk up the sides of trees.
Like, she spends a good 5 minutes, like, ticking off her fingers, like, didn't I cast that before? This would make that easier. What the hell? And then she walks up the wall.
Kind of mumbling the the formulae for Tensor's floating disc under her breath as she climbs to the top.
Well, now I gotta, like, snatch it from somebody else's spell list, because that's a fun spell.
All right, Emmett and Jaeger.
Emmett rolls a 17.
You call down to Emmett, and he pretty much just emulates everyone who went up before him, using the rope to bear his weight, pythons for grips and footholds, and he makes it up to the top of the hill.
Does Say see that that Felix is struggling?
I would say that you were right there to help them up the last bit of the way. Um, Felix did manage to get to the top just a little out of breath, and the last 20 feet or so was a little rough.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Klinkle would not have started until the rope was clear because traffic jams are a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Jaeger rolls an unnatural 20.
Jaeger, you pick up the rope and you toss it aside, and you just hup your way up the hill.
Yeah, Say's like walking down to meet people and then walking back up with them, but like she knows that with Jaeger it's pro forma. It's just so he doesn't feel left out.
You go down to meet him halfway, and then you just jog up the hill alongside of him.
Yep.
Everyone works with a spotter, even if you're the best one at the gym.
That's the smart way to do it. Everyone makes it to the top of the hill. Say, guessing you're going to collect the pythons, because you never know when they might come in handy.
Oh yeah, later. Yeah. I'll go behind us and pick all our shit up.
You gather your equipment and reconvene at the top of the hill and see the realm ahead of you. I mean, it is a mountain range. There are kind of crests and valleys. You're still in the lowlands here, so it doesn't seem too bad. Sorry, if I ever cut off in the middle of a spiel like that, you can assume that I'm moving a cat off my desk. I have a kitten tree right behind me. I don't know why he doesn't like that.
Because you're closer on the desk.
And you're warm.
And you're occupied with the desk, so something must be good over here.
So yeah, especially in this part of the mountain range, it looks like it might get difficult eventually, but once you're past that initial climb from the coast, it seems like it'll be a little easier to proceed. The party gathers your things, and you start to head off into the mountains.
Yeah. There are two Says.
They're guarding both sides of the veil.
Yes, they should be.
So the hours start to tick by. The morning progresses. The weather here, there's a breeze coming down from the mountains, but the day looks pretty clear so far. You do know that there tends to be more summer storms further inland. The mountains seem to be, a lot of storms have been coming down out of the mountains lately, but it looks like it's going to be a fairly clear day. Nothing really to worry about. You do kind of estimate that hiking through the mountains, probably the safest way of transportation. Oh god, that is something I would need. But you expect that you won't move very quickly. Oh jeez, this cat.
Alright, so, what is our game plan? Should we try to make it to the top of the mountain? Should we skirt the outskirts, where the elevation's low? I'm afraid if we get too far towards Smuggler's Vale, well, if there's an operation, there's going to be scouters, right?
Well, there's two issues. If we go too far above the tree line, one is a lot colder. Two, is mostly rocks and some leftover snow from winter that still hasn't yet melted. And you're out in the open. So if any of those, whatever they were, that try to take the ship, if there's any flying around, they're going to see us.
Oh,
But
those little dragons. Right.
yes, we could do the flying thing if we felt it would be, okay. We can buzz treetops and move fast, and if we see something come up, just drop into the trees. It'll be a little bit painful, maybe, but we could move a little bit faster if that's what we wanted. But if we're trying to go for stealth, I don't know.
Well, I mean, landing in trees is nothing new for you and me. Right. I'm down for that. I think we could skirt the treetops.
And remind me how. Actually, well, this may be a DM question. DM, how do I know anything about how my neighbor would be likely to feel about things flying around as we get closer to his territory?
It might draw some attention.
Okay. And how far are we? Are we like, I remember Elaine's group is like, said they were like 2 days out. Are we a similar distance or are we farther?
Considerably farther.
Okay, cool.
Just for a reference, the hex grid on here represents a day of normal travel.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we're ways out.
Yeah, if we push with the way we can do flight, it would be faster, but it would be less sneaky. And we could, looking at the numbers, 3.5, 4 days, based on what we've done in the past.
And Felix, since you've mentioned this, I'm going to add something to the map. Just a little waypoint that Felix is.
Is it that the white dot?
The white dot.
Cool. And I guess as long as I'm talking, do I know anything about like is there a path up from the valley that would likely be below the radar if we wanted to, if like do I know of a good way to get to the refuge from the valley, or
not quite.
I haven't really wandered around all in this particular area.
Most of your adventures have been within a day or two of the refuge through the mountains. The residents there haven't had much reason to go down into the valley. You know that in the area where the refuge is, there are some valleys in the mountains where crops are grown. So there hasn't been a whole lot of reason to go down the valley, but there are paths that go up and down from the valley to the refuge into the different mountains areas. You actually have spoken with someone about this back home. Give me a second. Actually, yeah, your friend Petal, her father is one of the refuge's rangers and is very familiar with the terrain around the area. And you've heard him talk about occasional descents into the valley, but it's very rare.
Okay. let the conversation at hand play out a little bit further then.
Do we
could we get a mark on the map of...
You've cut out.
Oh, crap. Sorry. Do we have a mark on the map where we had...
accosted? Oh, motherfucker.
Where we had been accosted by the fucking dragon things while we were on the ship?
Ooh.
No. At the time, you weren't keeping close eye on where you were in regards to the valley or proximity to it. You know you were flying over mountains. Chances are that if I remember correctly, it's the Storm Runner flew along the Black Fang Ridge towards the ocean, rather than directly over the Vale.
Right.
So-
How many days did we travel? Was it a day and a half or 2 days after the being accosted before we landed in the bay?
Oh, that I don't know off the top of my head.
But if they attack the outskirts of the Black Things, that means that they're patrolling the Black Things themselves. They are over the mountains.
Right, and that's why Taliesin specifically called out we probably don't want to go above the tree line unless we are going to be brash and fly. And if we're going to do that, we have to be prepared to just drop into the trees.
Trees, even with the mountains, there could be cover there. One advantage to if you did take to the air is just the view, since you know this time around that there are things out there, and you would have a good view of the area around you, whichever direction you move in.
Felix, do you know if there are many caves in this mountain range?
I mean, there's all kinds of caves, right? Like there's but not. I mean, there's probably caves over here too, but I don't really know over here. I know over there and points in the direct. I mean, we can't see the refuge from here, but like points roughly towards where it would be.
Right.
But this here is a little yeah, haven't really come this way before, but it's cool so
Okay.
far. But yeah, it's a mountain range. There's caves.
I think the
Sometimes
safest
there's stuff
bet
living in the caves.
Oh goodness. Okay, yes. And I think Allison's right. The safest path might be to go slow and go along the woods. We could chance going up further, but maybe hide in caves, but caves might be occupied, and there might be eyes in the sky.
I mean, there's definitely eyes in the sky. There's all kinds of birds and stuff.
Yeah, when we were attacked, we would have been not too far from their outpost. It's not like they'd be flying for days to accost people. They'd be circling a specific area and bringing them back.
They'd also be searching the skies and the ground below, looking for new targets.
True. I could become a small mountain falcon. I could try keeping a higher view above everyone else and see what's going on.
If you could scout for us and we could travel behind you, that might be a good idea. You could be an early warning. Let us know if something is around, and we can try to find cover if and when it happens.
Definitely. I could keep from making any sounds.
You're not transmitting.
When the fuck it came off again? I could keep from making any sounds as I'm flying, and then if I see something, I could give out a very specific call back when you guys know to get low.
That actually sounds like an excellent idea. Would anyone searching for us know that you're using magic to change your appearance?
No, not that I know of. But the only magic I know of, that I personally know of, requires you to be fairly close to recognize any kind of magical change, and I'm not using a spell to change my body, so I don't know if I would even give off an aura like the magic detection spell that I know.
Yeah, your nods. Apologies if that was a silly question. I am still learning the basics of magic here.
No, don't worry, it's a valid question. If no one's thinking to ask questions that they think are, simple and, already thought of, we can definitely forget something just because everyone thinks we're thinking of it.
That said, even if we travel by foot, it'll be 2 weeks. on foot to get from here to there.
I think the plan had been to use a normal method of obnoxiously fast travel, even if it's a little dangerous. Can we scoot close to the edge of the mountains and maybe that will be fine?
It could be. It should be.
The only problems that we're going to run into are patrols above us and anything that has like we don't know anything about the valley below. We don't know if there's a large city that's just not mapped that can look up the slopes and see us. And so I'm fine going as fast as possible. I just know that if we go the fastest possible way and we're following the Black Fangs, we're probably going to run into trouble sometime tomorrow or the day after.
All right. Well, we can move fast for now and sneak past where we think they might be.
And we could always, while I'm flying, and assuming Konani is flying again, while we're all flying, as long as people who are not in bird form are keeping an eye out, you could always just touch your earring and alert us if you see something that we're not seeing so that we can make a quick course correction.
Keep our eyes open.
Oh, hang on, here you go. Pull out a canine tooth and toss it at Allison.
I catch it.
So
a tooth.
Yeah,
I don't have an earring, so that'll have to do.
It's a whole thing. Anyway, we have some very strong spotters and some less strong spotters, so we can break it out like that as to who gets to be an eagle and who rides an eagle.
Right, we'll ride the eagles.
Ta-ta.
TM, I think I missed the shopping phase between games. But there were some spell components I was trying to get my hands on. Would I have been able to stock up on like glass eyes and diamond dust?
Yes. I mentioned earlier, since we didn't really do a between game shopping episode, if there was anything that anyone was looking out for, we can just deduct some gold and we'll say that you have it.
Fabulous, thank you. I'll look at Alistair, look at Kanane, look back at Alistair. Speaking of hiding, did you need me to do that other thing? To hide you? And points at Kanane.
Oh. Well, the spell itself only lasts for a short while, right?
I mean, most of the day. It's kind of spendy, so you start burning through the diamond dust, but it's 8 hours.
Diamond dust? Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, you remember the time when I made you come buy the stuff with me? Yeah, you weren't paying attention. That's probably just as well. But yeah. Okay. It's 8 hours when we need it.
8 hours. Hold on to it for now. As soon as we have time to stop and work for a little bit, I can begin preliminary work on some jewelry, and I can have you cast the spell into the jewelry.
You want to hide the jewelry?
Trust me, it'll work. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Something to that effect. The jewelry will do hiding. It will have hiding in it.
Okay. I guess you know what you're doing.
I've got some idea.
I believe in you.
I'm glad someone does.
I believe in you.
Oh. I can't use self-depreciating humor around you people.
I feel like I should be contrary just for the fuck of it, but...
Please do. I could use some abrasiveness right now.
I know Klinkler doesn't believe in you.
Klinkler doesn't believe in anything.
No, she does not.
Some science, rightfully so. Right. Birds. So,
Uncle believes in you by how close she is when you take her.
Felix is definitely giving, say, like a very cheerful and non-threatening, I see what you did there. And you may get compliments too at some point. Look.
Okay. So, doing some bird transformations or summoning birds? Or both?
Bird transformations right now. I can do a polymorph and change myself, and I know that Klinkle can polymorph as well. Not Klinkle, Konane can polymorph as well.
She can twin spell it, and that's that good shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 giant eagles. Is that enough to carry everybody?
Oh yeah.
3 giant eagles can usually carry about 2 people each.
Yeah, we're an
8-person party, so we're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, cool. Emmett, can we make Emmett an eagle because he's heavy?
He's heavy and he doesn't have a very good perception, so I think that Emmett should be an eagle.
All right, I'll ride with Emmett. I will not bird this time. I have good eyes. My eyes are good.
Question is, does Konane decide that she is going to eagle again because she likes the way of flying, or is she going to be a passenger?
I would rather be an eagle because the idea of somebody carrying her is more terrifying. She has more control.
That's fine, I think.
That is completely fair.
Okay, so we got Kanai, Emmett, and Taliesin turning into eagles. If you click the spell on your sheet, you should be able to expend the spell slot to use it. You click the D20 next to the spell.
Huh. The key does not exist in the embedded collection.
What?
Oh.
Oh. Bird.
Most definitely not how an eagle sounds, but...
Bird.
Bird. Cece, you should actually be able to click your metamagic twin spell to deduct the sorcery points from your sheet, but you might want to just do it manually.
Alright, so you guys eagle up, you divvy yourselves among your companions, and get a hobbling, running, swooping, diving start as you take to the air. So your initial travel time was about 4 hours to get from the shore to where you pause to kind of discuss your options. Birds can travel at twice the normal speed, and I believe
almost 3 times the normal speed as giant eagles.
Yeah, so I think, let's see here. So in theory, if I'm calculating correctly, if you fly for the next 8 hours, then you can move, we'll say 3 hexes.
So the polymorph only lasts for an hour. So we would end up coming down to a land, and I believe Konane still has enough to twin spell polymorph again.
Yeah, because it's 5. I have 11 points, so I'd be left with 1 point.
Yeah. So if we flew twice, I still use just the same 1 wild charge. Konane would expend her polymorphs and her twin spell, most of her sorcery points for twin spelling, and that would get us 2 solid hours of 3 times normal speed travel, and that's just normal.
I can also eat spells and turn them back into sorcery points.
so you might be able to get one more. You might be able to cast it again.
Yeah, I might.
Power them. Tastes like candy.
So yeah, if we could get 3 hours flight, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, it would be.
Doing the math off the actual numbers, that's 240 compared to 30. 90.
You don't even need to go into the hard math of that, because if one hex is 8 hours of standard travel time, and you've got 3 hours of times 3 speed, that would be the equivalent of 9 hours in the course of 3 hours.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Can we still can we summon eagles also with one of the magic items?
We can try.
Okay, so a 4th level spell is 6 sorcery points, not 5.
That's going to create spell slots. Hold on.
No, the spell slot level and the cost. The cost you showed me is 6. So I.
No. That's to create. That's to create sorcery points out of spell slots. So if you burn a 5th level spell, you will get 7 sorcery points back.
Oh, okay.
So if you burn all of your level 1s, you can get 2 for each level 1 spell.
Okay. So you get more back if you burn a spell than you do spending it to duplicate it? Okay.
Spell slots, if you burn them for sorcery points, will give you more sorcery points, but to turn a sorcery point back into a spell slot, it costs more sorcery points.
Okay. Alright. These are things that I haven't crunched these numbers yet. So
You haven't needed to.
I haven't needed to, but yeah, technically, if we're going by that, I know 2 5th level spells.
You have one 5th level slot.
I have 1 5th level slot, so technically, I think, do I have 2 4th level slots?
You have 3 4th level spell slots. You have 2 left after this. After casting Polymorph a second time, you will have 1 4th level slot left. So you could burn your 5th level spell to get 7 points back, and then Polymorph Twin Spell one more time.
I could do it a few times because I have 3 3rd level spots.
Oh yeah,
and they're worth 5 each.
You can Polymorph all day if you have the chutzpah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 4 right there. Polymorph's 4.
Yep.
You cut out.
Yeah, I think Polymorph's 4th level, so we could do 4 castings with what you're noting for math.
4 castings, 4 hours of flight time?
Yep.
Alright, I'm keeping track of the math on my end to try and figure out just how fast y'all are flying.
Slower than the Concorde.
So 4 hours of travel by using Kanani's polymorph, and then we can attempt to summon some, yeah? And get lucky, maybe?
Yeah, the way we summon them is I tried conjuring woodland beings, and if I get the sprites, they have polymorph, and I can ask them to polymorph us.
Seems like a fair risk.
Yeah, I'm down for this. Let me jump into the drive and pull up the chart.
If the last one fails, then we'll just stop for the night anyway, so...
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of walking and flying.
I mean, if people don't mind riding goats, we can totally conjure in some goats.
Oh, goats are really good in the mountains.
Probably would need dire goats.
It's been a long day, and at that point it might be a good idea to take some rest. I think that the salt water fucked with my sinuses a little bit. We'll see.
Also, don't know if you've ever met a goat. They're like you could probably try to ride them if they were big enough, but getting them to go the way you want them to go, not very goat-like, really. They're cute, they're fun, but maybe I don't know how much patience people have left at the end of the day. Goats, maybe not the thing. I like them, don't get me wrong. But not everybody does.
They'd be the same face spirits that, or hopefully the same face spirits that have been helping us so far. If we
that's
were to do
different.
that.
The flower wars?
They could just come and hang out with us at the camp, and then we could talk about tomorrow with them. It'd be nice to see them again. It's been a minute.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you've got 4 hours of flight time by spending spell slots to cast Polymorph, and then you're going to see if you can summon the sprites, right?
Yeah, for a 5th hour.
Right.
All right. So addressing the flight time that you guys are in the air, I need. Let's see. We've got 3 days. Let me have 3 perception checks. I think
From
with
the bird?
polymorph, yeah, polymorph, you have to use the bird statistics, if I remember correctly.
I think that
Okay.
we did plan for the scouts to be on the
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
Okay. So, depending on how we go, the birds, the eagles, they have a +4 to their perception and advantage on perception checks.
Oh, that's
Just
not
putting
bad.
it out there.
That's not bad. We could go with the birds.
Natural
I have
fucking
a
20.
+9, if that helps. But I'm not a bird, I don't think.
Yeah, I have a.
But also, nat 20 is real good.
I have a +10, so what else?
Nat 20 for a
Perception
total of
bonus.
27, by the way.
Okay.
See everything.
But I really want, because Felix is the scout that's going to be talking to me, I would really love Felix to roll and see if they get better than me. Because if they do, they see everything.
Just because I have something in mind, Felix wants to roll a perception check. Just on the off chance you get a 20.
Check something.
Did you port in a 20? Because that would be real handy.
I can't remember where I can't remember.
Oh no!
There we go. I did not put into 20. But I'll use that portent, so it's still 25.
Nice. Okay, what was the base number?
16.
Okay. And my other bird friends, did any of you roll?
Say again?
Did the birds roll?
Birds
Any of the birds.
Did the bullet birds? Oh, Emmett has to roll because Emmett's a bird.
But with bird stats.
But with bird stat.
And what was your total, Felix? 20?
25.
Emmett rolled a 10. It was a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
So I have to roll perception too?
Yeah, with advantage because you're a bird.
Advantage, add 4. It's not your stats, it's the bird stat. So it's a flat +4, but you have advantage.
18.
Okay. So with these rolls, as you head southeastward across the mountains, kind of paralleling the Vale, moving towards the Vale, you keep your collective eyes open for signs of anything that might hamper you. At one point, as you head south, Konane, you make out some what look to be small winged figures along the mountains south of you towards Illyria. You're able to make out what appear to be harpies. You recall them from the attack on the Hummingbird while you were all flying out there when the rock attacked the ship. Far off in the distance, they don't seem to notice you, don't seem to pay any mind to your passing. Felix and Taliesin, You guys keep a closer watch off to the east where the veil is. And you can see far off in the distance a couple, looks like 3 or 4 dark shapes flying in the sky, kind of about the same level as you. Can't really make out the details, but they seem to be comparable in size to your giant bird forms. They don't appear to be getting any larger. They seem to be flying roughly parallel in the opposite direction, heading north as you're heading south.
The eagles.
Wait, are they heading toward? So you said the opposite direction. They're heading north while we're heading south. Oh, so parallel, like they're way off to our side. They might not have seen us, and we're literally on parallel tracks. We're gonna pass each other.
Yeah, you keep an eye on them as you continue, and they don't seem to change their speed. So either they didn't see you, or if they did, they didn't think much of you, whatever they were.
All right. Well, they were roughly the same size as us. That could have been eagles, or could have been dragons. Who knows?
Wyverns.
Well, my character doesn't know it's a wyvern, so he's going off what he was told.
Some drake-like creature.
Actually, we fought wyverns.
Yeah.
They nearly
They're not
one-shot.
puppy.
They nearly one-shotted Jenner and Taliesin.
I think, yeah, Jaeger knocked one off with a golf swung hammer.
Yeah, they totally.
Mm-hmm. I just remember at the time we didn't know what they were. They were just looked kind of like a dragon, but with a weird tail situation. So Talison's called them dragons because he didn't know the name.
Small stabby dragons.
All right, so at the end of your flight session, you head back down into the mountains. You find a ledge, kind of an outcropping in the rock for you all to take rest on. It's gotten cooler. It's not quite cold yet. You haven't reached the highest mountain peaks yet, but you can definitely feel a difference in the temperature here. As you land and shapeshift back, Taliesin, you want to see if you can conjure some woodland fae.
Yep.
So you were looking for sprites, correct?
I believe so. It's been a while since I've had to cast it, so I'm just going to do a quick double check, make sure they're the ones that actually have the polymorph.
Nope, it wasn't sprites. I think it might have been pixies.
It might, yeah.
Pixies.
It's either sprites or pixies, so it would have to be pixies.
Yeah, pixies have polymorph. All right, so you raise your staff and prepare to attempt to summon pixies, and I need you to roll a d4.
Four.
4.
I don't remember if that's good or not.
Okay, you you hit the butt of your staff into the ground, and the tip of it begins to glow and radiate kind of a pulsing green light that grows brighter and brighter, and then it seems to split and take on the form of little winged globes of light that start to drift around you, accompanied by the sound of faint giggling and quiet chatter.
Yeah.
You successfully summon a band of pixies.
These babies.
Awesome. I smile and look at everyone. I'll say, okay, we're all going to be eagles. So, everyone ready?
God, how many of those things are you able to summon? Challenge your rating 1/4. Yeah, 8 pixies.
So they can polymorph everyone.
You're not transmitting.
They can polymorph everyone. I won't even have to use wild shape for this one.
That's good. Yeah.
So after everyone knows that they're ready, I will quickly instruct the pixies to change us into giant eagles with polymorph, and then we'll, head and keep going.
Ooh.
All right, we're gonna be birds.
All right, as you all take to the sky for one more hour of flight time, the pixies all grabbing hold of your feathers in the back to ride along your backs as you take off. Because they're not going to turn down a free ride after you summon them into this world.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
They're gonna see all the things they can see.
So let's see here. So with the 4-hour start time, 5 hours of flight time, we can do that. Yeah, you make 2 days worth of travel in 2 days worth of travel across mountainous terrain in 8 hours.
Can the I don't know if the Valor Company's arrival token or something. Can we have some sort of marker of where the party is?
There is right here in the left-hand corner-ish.
I don't know where.
It's the little dragon shield thing.
Yeah, it's right above Illyria, written on the map.
Hold on, let me look and see where you're. Okay. Where are. Stop moving your mouse and I will tell you where to go. Because theoretically I can see where your mouse is.
I just moved Felix's token right beneath the Valor Company symbol.
I don't see Felix's. I bet when you lost connection, you probably got soft kicked from the game. I wonder what would happen if you reload the
let me
page.
try to log back in.
You know what? I don't see you on the player board.
Weird. I was able to switch maps and everything. Trying to log back in. Okay.
I see things changing.
I think it caches so that you can still access some stuff while if you're not connected or not. Yeah.
Discovering new things all the time.
All right, so there's still some weird stuff happening with the token. But give me a sec. All right, Felix's token is fixed because Felix is back in the game. Felix should be able to move their token and should be able to see the Valor's Company icon right here. Hopefully.
We shall see.
Is Hannah still with us? Oh no, did Hannah drop again?
It could be another Wi-Fi drop.
Oh, let's hope that the game is being archived.
As in, like, recorded and streamed?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's always. All games are now.
Yeah.
OBS, don't fail us now.
Now that I have a good system for it.
Heck yeah.
Off topic, but on topic. I got a 4 terabyte drive to move all of the old logs over to because literally my entire hard drive was full of recordings of D&D games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get very full very quick.
Well, and not even like video recordings.
Yeah. Just like this low bitrate MP3 in the background of game right now is like 200 megabytes.
Yep.
They are chunky files.
You could probably run them through like a compression pass, but that's work. That's
his work.
difficult work.
And instead I got a 4 terabyte drive for Valentine's Day. So
That works.
Yeah, trying to log back
Welcome
in, and
back.
all of the all the names in the list are in the select user list are now grayed out, so I can't select Felix and log in.
Ah.
So that's new and weird.
You can't select Felix. Give me a sec.
Didn't you guys accidentally ban me and that kind of happened?
Oh,
You sure did.
The good
Mish,
news
can
is
you,
we know how to fix it.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
Can you kick Felix?
1 second.
You've been a bad.
Don't ban. Don't ban
No,
Felix.
I did not ban. That was
Don't make my
So,
mistake. Hannah, please refresh and see if your name is not grayed out.
Still grayed out. Let me try closing all my Firefox browser.
Sure.
you can also do
Mish,
a world reset.
yeah, you can do an app reset. That will probably get the job done.
Is that what you had to do with me?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, let me do that right now because I need to get some more water anyway.
5-minute break?
It's
Let's see here. Wasn't there was the reload world? There it is. Reload application.
Bye, everybody.
Be right back and some more water.
Just watching everyone slowly get kicked. And then come back.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm not getting water. I'm making water.
Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Pretty, please don't crash. Just stay running. Please, oh please.
Okay, I'm back.
Just stay running for me, please.
welcome back.
Thank you. Everyone's still loading back in the game.
Rob and Dom AFK'd.
I'm more here now than I was before. And now I'm really here.
I'm still grayed out.
What?
Try another reload?
Well, it shows Felix's in game. Should I try and kick them again?
Yep.
Yeah, you can try another kick.
I was gonna say, I do not see Felix on my list of players.
Okay. Let's see if I can keep
I have
from
kicked
doing
Felix from the world.
Still grayed out.
You could try
rebooting
refreshing.
the whole computer. Yeah.
No, you could try.
Oh,
Shift
you just disappeared from my list, so try now.
Are you using Firefox or Chrome?
Firefox.
All right, try holding
can use
Control and
Chrome.
pressing. Chrome might work better. Try using Control F5. If not, try Chrome. Chrome has a little bit better compatibility with this program.
Okay, no dice on Control F5. Let's switch it to Chrome. Still grayed out in Chrome.
I have Felix grayed out on my players list.
I kicked Felix from my list, re-logged in, and it still shows them in.
Sec.
There I go.
Goodbye, everyone.
He's
Bye.
reloading everything.
I'm doing a hard reload. You've all been kicked from game.
Yep.
Yep,
Just saw
just
that.
saw that.
This should do it. If not, I have one more step I can take.
The nuclear family.
So, So Hannah, I see your name. I see Felix is in. They are not in game. The name is not grayed out on my end.
Okay, so you want me to try logging back in again, or
Yes, please. Yes, please. My screen does a little flicker every time someone logs in, and it's kind of fun to watch.
oh, I think it's, yep, that worked, or at least it thinks it's gonna work.
It might take a second to load.
It will take several seconds to load the plugins, catch everything into memory. This is not quite the nuclear option. Just the game. Instead of reloading the game, we closed the game and started the game anew. But that should do it.
I am in.
Oh, thank goodness. We have an option. Sometimes when the game is running for hours or days at a time, wacky things can happen. So I think going forward, we'll do a hard reset before sessions.
I think that's a good idea.
Sounds good.
I think that's good.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Okay, you should now see the Valor Company token right above your Felix icon. In the bottom left of the map.
Yes, I sure do. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. Delightful.
Perfect. Now with the party finishing their last flight time, it's about 2 in the afternoon. If the party wants to make some hard hiking until 6 p.m., you guys will be able to squeeze out another hex before you rest for the night.
Yeah, I think that'll be the way to go, because we are on a timeline.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're exhausted, we're going to be camping, so.
Okay. You make some hard press to the mountains, wanting to make the most of the daylight hours. You're well and truly within the Black Fang mountain range right now. Even looking down around you, you can't really see the forest of either Illyria or Smuggler's Vale. Although, by the position of the sun and checking your tools along the route, you know you're heading in the right direction. You're able to scout around and eventually find you kind of keep hiking until you find a good shallow cave in one of the sides of the mountains here.
I'm double checking the shit out of that cave.
Same. Is there anyone in here or anything? Is it occupied?
Is the back real?
I will accept a survival or investigation or perception.
Perception.
When you when you kicked Felix, did you happen to make his character sheet go away? Because it's the PC's folder is no longer in the actors tab for me.
That's a new one.
I will open Roll20 and pull my modifiers from there.
All right, yeah, it's right under. It should be under Dr. Jaeger Cruz.
It is not. I have the monster manual and I have NPCs.
You don't see. Hold on. Configure permissions. I did something. Sorry. Owner, save. Your token was not accessible, so I changed permissions a couple times.
There it is. Thank you.
Yep. Didn't delete it. I just hit it. Sorry. Proceed.
Cool. So that is a 29 survival for Felix.
27 perception. Actually, Jaeger said he was helping. Let me roll at advantage. 27 perception.
Okay, so Felix is basically looking for signs of habitation, and Say is looking for signs of
sabotage.
Signs of sabotage or anything suspicious. Let's see. You know what? So the cave it's fairly deep. It's a large opening that's recessed away from a kind of broad overlook into the northern range here. say, starting with you, you see there are some scattered pieces of wood, some scattered ashes here and there, um, a lot of dirt and debris that looks like it's been blown out and brushed around. You don't see anything suspicious along the walls as you kind of do a perimeter search, but you still get this itching sensation on the back of your neck that there's something about this place. Felix, as you investigate the grounds, looking for footprints and such, you do find some very old, what look to be a mix of very faint boot prints and some multi-toed prints, and it looks like the ashes and pieces of wood looks like it might have been a scattered fire at some point. Everything that you're seeing looks quite old, though. It doesn't look like this has been used recently, but there are signs that at some point in the past it was used by someone.
I'm sorry, you said in the recent past or not recent past?
Not recent past.
Okay. And you said three-toed prints. Do I have any idea what those were?
The first thing that comes to your mind is dragon, except it's not big enough.
A little.
And the prints that you do find, you're able, like, this is over, say, 5 minutes of searching around, and you're piecing together prints, and they're very faint, but it looks like the gate seems wrong for a dragon.
This is weird.
What is?
These. And I'll point them out to Say and anyone else who wants to look.
Yeah, I'll look them over.
I'm going to say for anyone that is trained in survival, it takes a minute for you to find them, but you do see the outline of the prints in the ground. Anyone who is not trained in survival can't make out the tracks at all.
I am.
Little dragon feet.
Oh, I bet it was those fucks that attacked us on our way in. The stingy tails and the 2 dragon feet and the I don't know, the fucking stingy tails.
Do they hang out with people? Because there's those too, and I point to the boot marks.
Drow. Not
Shatterkai.
Shatterkai. Sorry.
Say for a moment you have a picture of Vera looking very offended in your mind.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, she knows I'm dumb. And we've already joked about the fact that I am a very racist high elf, so.
Well, at least it looks like they haven't been here in a good while.
That means they won't be coming back, or that they're due to come back.
It means we set a careful watch and do some sort of protection over the mouth of this cave, so hopefully they don't see it.
We could probably put like a big boulder in front of it or something. Oh, we've lost Hannah again.
Yeah, they're switching to phone.
Oh, okay, that works. If someone is streaming game, that might make it easier to. Well, they probably won't be able to. Well, maybe. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hi.
You sound so defeated. I'm sorry.
You've missed nothing.
Some strong debate. Some talk about things we can do to camouflage the front of the cave.
Put a big rock in front of it.
Can you
And then-
move a
then
big
move-
rock, Alistair?
No, but we've got the mountain. I kind of gesture wildly at Jaeger.
Oh, so you're just delegating assignments. Typical
I mean-
Dark Alice student.
I mean,
Well-
magic also makes it possible.
That too.
How
I just thought
big
you'd like
is
a
the
good
company?
opportunity to flex your muscles and show off a little bit.
Anything for you, Alistair.
I was about to say, Yiga, if you're not up to it, I can.
I'm gonna do it. And Jaeger, well, are we doing this now? Do we need to hunt for anything, or can I just start looking for a boulder to put in front?
Oh, well, we've got rations. Let me see what's in the bag.
With your flight into this area, you're in a kind of a rocky place in the mountains. You didn't quite see any valleys or.
For fuck's sake, why does the music keep turning itself up?
Sorry, that was me.
God
I
damn
thought
it,
that
Rob.
I thought it was on my end. I couldn't hear it. I apologize.
So I completely derailed my train of thought. Right, you didn't see any good hunting grounds around here. You're still climbing into the mountains. You have passed over smaller valleys and some scatterings of trees, but it looks like for fresh hunting, you'll probably need to make a dedicated stop rather than ranging out from a campground, because up here in the mountains, a good campground is not necessarily the best place for hunting.
The last time we hunted in the mountains, all we found was a goat, and it took forever to cook.
Well, we have a lot of rations. It's all dried stuff, but we have some jam. We've got jam and rations.
Could have just eaten the goat raw.
Why would you
Why?
eat a goat raw?
Jaeger shrugs.
I
Well,
would eat a goat raw, but it tastes better cooked.
Why?
Let's stick with rations.
Let's do the rations.
If people are really that concerned about putting rations, I can always conjure the berries.
Good
No,
berries.
If you
no,
like.
no, rations.
Rations are fine. This is fine.
Save
love that.
save your meat berries for when we're in dire straits. Thank you.
They can be any flavor you want. They don't have to be meat berries. I just made meat berries the one time. Thank
I
you.
love that the one time the party tried good berries, it was a weird flavor and it traumatized them for the rest of the campaign.
It's just that every time I see them, I think of meat berries, and they could taste like anything really, but I would still taste meat berry.
What's wrong with meat berries?
Can you do elderberry?
I can make it taste like anything you want it to taste like.
Which is how we
Anything?
ended up with bacon berries.
You've never had rolled bacon in a ball?
Bacon and eggs together.
Bacon eggs.
With the texture of a berry. I do not like that.
That sounds amazing. Could you do that? Try that.
He has done it. It's happened.
He-
Flavored.
That abomination was created already, yes.
Jaeger stands up tall. Taliesin, if you would, 3 orders of good berries for myself, Felix, and you. The only 3 I will probably with taste.
And if you want me to look around, see if I can find some stuff, I can look around and find some stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know this area, but I can look. And eat a cool berry thing. That sounds weird, but good. At least new.
I mean, I don't get food textures anyway, so it just tastes like bacon, and bacon's amazing.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, bacon is good, but you can't chew it.
Alistair, I'm gonna have to ask you to shut up.
Alistair, you and I will have. Alistair, you and I and Kanani will have rations, and everyone else will leave them to the meat
Twinkle
berries.
just sort of clacks her beak at Alistair when he mentions chewing.
You can sleep outside of the lock.
Lines
Okay.
have been drawn.
Well, I'll provide the jam and the rations, and we can enjoy that, and you can have the berries. And Klinkle, you can pick from both sides if you want. I don't judge.
I pull out my gas goodberry and I make the bacon and egg tasting berries because apparently that's what people want.
It's fucking existing.
Felix is so excited about this.
I hand out one to Klinkle, to Jaeger, to Felix, and I pop one in my mouth, and then I stow the other four since they'll still be good to eat after our long rest.
Felix immediately pops one to his mouth, and like there's a whole journey of expressions.
Journey of expression.
It's different. Thank you. I think. Thank you. Yeah, it's different. Huh.
The good news is you're no longer hungry.
I mean, Felix doesn't hate it. He's just confused. Like he's kind of into it, but they're right. The texture is weird. Not like in a bad way. He's just thinking very hard.
It's just kind of like lima beans. Either you can tolerate them or you can't.
It's like cilantro.
It's not like cilantro. Let's not talk about cilantro. Good God.
It's a taste thing, not a texture thing, though.
All right, so I'll expend five units of rations for me, Konami, Say, Klinkle, and anyone else who has common sense.
Right, Jaeger, are you gonna go outside and look for a big rock?
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah.
That is
You're okay.
12.
12? You find the largest rock you find is about the size of Say, which is about a third of the size of the opening to this cave.
You will need more rocks.
Actually, no, a little shorter than Say.
That's a small rock.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep looking.
You spend even more time kind of looking around, but you start to find that you're venturing further and further from the cave. You don't think you're gonna have too much luck.
Does Jaeger bring the rock over?
Well, yeah.
Everyone in the cave just hears this grinding, rolling sound.
Remind me how big the opening is, please. Pre-rock or post-rock, actually.
So pre-rock, I said, was a little shorter than Say, and Say's like 5-0, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the cave opening is probably about roughly 15 to 18 feet across.
Oh, wow. Whoa, hold on a second.
I mean, I can get part of it.
Likewise. That's I was trying to ask that question earlier, but kind of got distracted.
The party inside, as they're discussing over food, Jaeger just starts to roll this boulder into view.
Checking my prepared spells.
So it sounds like there's 10-ish feet left.
About.
Do you want to get that side? Pointing to the right. And I'll get this side? Pointing to the left.
Sure.
Of the gap. I guess we both cast Stone Shape.
Yep.
Yes!
I'm gonna make sure that there is a hole left, like not near the bottom, so it doesn't necessarily draw attention if there's light, but we definitely do need air coming in and out.
If you create an Emmett-sized hole, he can like plug it if need be.
But he is not stone, so
shape it around his body.
No, he probably would stick out a little bit. You're right.
The object you can create can have up to 2 hinges and a latch. So if you want to do air holes, I'll do a door.
That works. And it's going to be like little. It's going to be like the freaking secret door in the
Find some more, yeah?
Smog. In the desolation of smog.
Oh.
So it's like there's texture on the outside, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't notice where the holes are for the air holes. It just looks like a continuation of the outside.
That is fantastic.
Magic is wild.
Magic is wild.
Jaeger, you just gotta work out like rolling this giant stone over to the doorway, and you just see Felix and Taliesin like wave their hands, and suddenly there's a stone door right next to it.
Oh.
I mean, no. It's okay. It's really good. We would have had to do another one if there wasn't the rock there. And I mean, we could, but that would be like then we'd have to do another one. So, I mean, it's good. Like everybody, it's a good effort.
Good job, team.
It's a good rock.
Should I go put the rock back?
No, we need it. Leave it here. It's fine.
It's a good rock. Without that rock, we don't have the complete wall.
Do you think someone's gonna miss it?
It's not a baby dwarf, is it?
It is far too large to be baby dwarf.
It could be a very fat baby.
I mean, I'm taller than most dwarves. At least.
Unless dwarves are hatched like in litters inside of a single rock egg, I don't think that's a thing. And I'm pretty sure that's
a knowing. I give Taliesin a knowing nod.
I was gonna ask if you had met dwarves, and then I remember that you have because I saw it.
Yeah, no. I was trying to make a joke, but the delivery was off.
Oh, good effort. Good try, though. Thank you for sharing what you were doing. I will try to recognize it better next time.
Felix, all this talk of dwarves and rocks does remind you that there is one dwarf at the refuge that looks like he could have been chiseled from a rock, so there might be...
Is he a stone biter?
Felix seems to have forgotten this person's existence in the rushing to assure Taliesin that it was a very good joke, and we just missed it.
Jaeger's gonna settle after petting his rock, assuring it that it's a good rock.
Does it have a name?
It's a rock.
But you were having a conversation with it, so I thought you might be friends.
Dwayne. I think Dwayne is a good name.
Should we?
I'm partial to Rocco, but do what you do.
Do we have to take it with us when we leave?
We are not taking a full 600-pound rock with us when we leave.
Well, what if it's downhill? We could roll it.
I mean, partly it'll be downhill, and then it'll be uphill again because we're in the mountains.
Well, maybe they'll decide that the bottom of the hill is where it would like to spend the rest of its days, and maybe open up a shop, maybe meet a nice pebble, have a few tumblestones.
From a more realistic point of view, perhaps causing an avalanche or a rock slide is not the attention we would like to draw to ourselves.
Yet.
But imagine if we weaponized it.
Like I said, yet.
Yes.
We'll remember that this excellent rock is here in case we need to use it later.
We can always come back.
Yeah, or we could shrink it and put it in the portable hole. Bag holding. Good thought. Anyway.
Wait. We can take it?
Why do they want to take you to a rock? Why?
I honestly don't know, but...
It's a big, beautiful rock.
I think...
It can be thrown.
I think...
It's a medium-sized, beautiful rock.
It's a very large rock to try and carry with us.
For you.
Hey, DM. How round is this rock? Is it like a spherical rock?
It's kind of oblong.
Kind of oblong. There's no chance that this mountain was volcanic at one point, was there?
What?
Can I roll like a nature check to see if there's any possibility that's a geode?
Sure.
Oh no.
Nature nature. That's a nat 20.
It's a
Alistair?
rock.
It's either Jiro or it's a rock.
You think this might be a geode? Really big geode.
Oh, that's a total of 29. Hey, wait a second.
You kind of pull out a little chisel and you kind of like tap it into the edge, and some of it flakes off, and you see the strata underneath. And
Holy moly.
Are you carving the rock? What are you doing?
Putting a
Jaeger!
smiley face on it.
Jaeger!
In the dwarf
This isn't
hat.
just a rock!
It is a dwarf egg.
rock.
Jaeger, you big, beautiful fool! You have no idea what you got! It's a geode!
That's more fun than a dwarf egg.
It's a lot more fun than a dwarf egg. It's a lot more valuable than a dwarf egg. Well, okay, that's probably really insensitive to the value of the life, but still, I've got my project for the evening. Thank you, Doctor.
So, given the rarity of dwarf eggs, I'm pretty sure a dwarf egg would be very valuable to a collector.
I'm starting to chisel it.
Alright, I'll come help.
Say, do you have a map that we can quickly mark where we are and kind of gauge how far we have to go?
You can look at the map. Please do not draw on my map. I have extensive notes on it. I'll hand over my map.
Okay, I will take the map and I will start examining it to kind of figure out where we are on the map.
Alright, and I'll sit down with my... I look at the geode longingly, and then I sit down with my cartographer's tools and help figure out where the fuck we are. It's one of those things I'm trained in.
Alistair, what is a geode?
A geode. Geode is it's a solidified magmatic extrusion from a volcano. Lava comes up, gets spat out, solidifies into a rock. The heat and the pressure surrounding the boulder create seed gems inside. It could be full of quartz, it could be full of amethyst, it could be full of citrine. There's something likely to be very pretty inside. Think of it like a surprise candy, but it's a rock and you can't eat it.
So like a cluster of crystals, but inside of a rock.
Yes, it's like a crystal egg.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, indeed.
So, in regards to this giant rock, are you trying to chisel in it gently, or are you trying to look for the best way to crack it open?
I'd like to look for the best way to crack it open because I have noodles for arms and I have to do this smart.
You have a Goliath and a Warhammer. You just need something to drive into it.
I don't want it to... If there's something valuable inside, I don't want to ruin it by being brunt. But I will ask the doctor for his deft and steady hand after finding the best place to strike.
You will offer and help.
What are you using as kind of a to drive into the rock? Because it does have a very hard shell and it's very big, so...
Would a mining pick work?
A mining pick? What? You have a mining pick?
I have two.
What the fuck?
Remember
Of
we were going to
course you do.
We were going to Skyhammer and we were talking about mining and Alistair got a chance to shop?
Yep.
I love that fucking pack rat.
I was
I happen to have
He's
two
got a
miners.
that reaches in and just pulls out a whole ass mining pick, sets it aside, pulls out another whole ass mining pick.
Oh, now you can actually use those.
Finally! I've been wanting to dig for ages. Well, not me dig, but watch people dig. In directions.
All right, so I'll say that Jaeger, you have the right tool for the job, and you've got assistance from Alistair. Give me. This is just going to be like an attack roll with advantage. So strength-based attack.
Strength.
D20 plus strength plus proficiency.
$27.
Jaeger, you rear back and you slam the pick into the stone. And there's a loud crack shattering sound as your pick drives into the shell all the way up to the hilt, and a large network of spiderweb like cracks spread out across the surface of this thing. You yank the pick back, pulling it free. Oh, now you're just jumping up here, not even bothering to climb, huh? All right. You yank your pick free, and a faint yellow light begins to spill out from the interior of the rock.
No.
What?
Uh-oh. Hold on, Doctor. Slow your roll. I'm gonna grab the crowbar from the bag of holding and kind of like begin to wedge it into the interior. See if that crack.
Shaped rock doesn't just like be a thing on, and it's instead you have to pick the area that you're affecting.
So, Alistair, you break out the crowbar and start to pry out chunks from the break that Jaeger had formed in the rock. You peel back some of the coating and you start to reach that quartz-like crystalline layer, and you can see that his puncture had actually gone deeper, and that was where the light was coming back. So you begin to chip and pry, and you manage to open up kind of a hole to peek deeper into the stone. And you see within the stone interior is a jagged vein of crystal that seemed to be radiating out from this. It's not a center mass, but it's like a vein that's radiating out from the middle of the geode. And within this vein is a shifting, faintly pulsing yellow light. You realize that within the geode is a aetherstone vein.
Is it supposed to glow? Is that supposed glowing things may blow up?
Yeah, let's probably get rid of this.
No!
I have to take this out and get
No! Jaeger, no! Stop! No! It's not gonna blow up if you don't apply runic to it. It's an aether shard. It's a vein. There's a huge chunk in the middle.
I found this.
You found this? How do you keep finding these?
I don't know, but I hope I do keep doing so.
Yes, no, please, continue. Don't stop. Don't ever stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
He's gonna just, Alistair's gonna start trying to peel back the outer layers. Kind of wide-eyed, kind of manic.
Are we rich?
Can I cast Calm Emotions on Alistair?
I don't see why not.
It just seems like I can't remember. Is this a touch spell? No, 60 feet. That's fine. But Felix will sort of give Alistair a pat on the shoulder. Oh, hey, look, I can in fact actually cast that on Alistair. What I don't know what is happening. Yes, you get to make a DC. You get to make a save though if you want.
A save? A charisma save with my 10 charisma?
Yeah. You have more than 10 charisma?
That's gonna be 7 on the die.
It's the enthusiasm is good, but it looks like delicate work. So just breathe. We'll just breathe.
Breathe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can breathe. Yeah. So.
Good job.
Well, thank you, Edgar. Goodness gracious. This is. Are we rich? That's a really good question. Rich implies the ability to sell this. If there weren't an all but a monopoly in Skyhammer on the sale and distribution of Aether Stones of this size, I would say yes. If the world wasn't on the brink of being upended by hectable ruin, I would say yes. I think this is more valuable in our possession than being sold.
We're rich in possibilities for Alistair to do more interesting and crazy shit.
Yes, this is an opportunity. A big one.
Well, I mean, we don't have to keep all of them, and we do not have to sell them all at once. We go to a shop and be like, I exchange with you some goods. Here is a fish-sized Aether Stone.
Certainly. I'll have to cut it into pieces and see what's what. It is going to be delicate work. Good point, Felix. Absolutely. I should try to keep a level head about this. Goodness gracious, what are the chances?
So
About
how
1
is
in
the rock
20.
supposed to cover the rock?
How's the rock? Well, the back of the rock is covering it. Oh, I can't hollow this out. I'll break the door hole if I do that. I'll just take a little bit.
I mean, we won't need it forever, or we could make more door.
The stone is big enough for you to have space to work on the inside without revealing it to the outside. So, with the party kind of setting up camp and going over the map and kind of settling down for the evening, you are able to get to work with whoever wants to help you, kind of pry back the layers of this geode and start to open it up to get access to more of that glowing yellow innards.
The delicious center. I would like to extract. I would like to have help extracting, not just the aetheric center, but the crystalline outside. The quartz. It's not the most expensive gem, but it is useful in crafting and selling and what have you.
So I will point out because
I don't even know how you
it's
did
still
that.
in the
I have
roles thing,
access
but
to
like
control your character because of
once
Liam.
if we're gonna use stone
Oh,
shape
so you
to open up
accidentally
the
had
door
me
again
selected
when
when
we
you
leave,
said
I'm not on
why
the
not
board.
just stone shape the goodies out of?
that.
Oh my god! Magic is awesome.
I don't know if we need to use stone shape to leave. Felix did make a door on their half, but we certainly could.
Yeah, there's totally a door. So yeah.
Oh,
I thought she meant to.
stuff, but like
No.
I thought she meant to hollow out the geode.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, we totally could do that too.
Yeah. So, yes, do that.
It's a high level spell though.
I mean,
I mean, we're about to settle down for the evening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
gonna say, Taliesin, do you want to do that? I know you've been casting spells all day, and I have not, so I'm happy to do it.
let me see real quick
Unless
I
you
can
have a
do it.
desire
But-
to.
what level spells I have.
So,
Maybe
Alistair, give me a Arcana check.
fourth, I can't
Arcana.
do that.
Arcana check. Okay. Okay, not bad. That's going to be a 31.
Not bad, he says. All right. Before I jump into you, yes, say.
Oh, I was gonna say, if as I'm sitting down with my cartographer's tool and really examining the map and the mountain range I'm in, is there any way I could try and map a better path through these mountains, to maybe shave off some time?
Sure. The map is not incredibly detailed on all the passes, but there are some larger passes that have been marked. Give me a survival check, or survival or cartography tools, however you want to approach it.
Let me just check and see what my cartography tools are.
You might
Would it
be
be
able to choose an attribute for them.
Would it be a cartography tools with wisdom?
Yeah, I'd go with wisdom over intelligence for you.
Huh, it doesn't let me roll it. Well, it's the same thing anyway. I'm trained in survival, so. 18.
Hey.
Okay. With an 18, as you kind of examine the kind of valleys that are noted in the paths, you do believe, since you know that you can't spend the entire day flying, and flight honestly makes a lot of the ground transport almost trivial, but you do need to spend some of the time moving on the ground. You do start to mark off places along the mountains where the terrain seems a little more level, where the hiking doesn't seem to be as intense, where the elevations don't seem to be so varied. So you figure that once you set out again, once you're in the air and can get kind of an aerial view and match it to the map, you know different places that you can stop within reasonable distances of each other, to kind of make it easier to traverse the landscape once you get down there.
Fantastic. And then if Alistair's still fucking with the rock, I'll be like, I have Tinker's tools, if that'll be any help.
Tinker's tools, probably.
It
Pliers.
probably will be helpful because, Alistair, you recall with your 31 Arcana check, um, Aether stones tend to, they don't react well to magic placed on them. That is, they're at being a source of magic in and of themselves, they don't change shape. It's incredibly difficult to use magic on them to alter their substance in any way.
Oh, we can't shape stone with this.
No,
Mention I did
um,
not mean to shape stone the Aether Stone.
no, we mean the shape stone, the stone shell, because crystal isn't stone at that point. So we could actually just remove the entire shell
Yeah, basically turn
around it.
the non-Aether gluey center into clay and just wipe it off.
And that was the other part of the check. Whereas stone shaped would get past the shell, the quartz on the inside would be a little more resistant, but still subject to the ability of the spell. That is, you'll probably need to make a check to kind of force the quartz around the aether stone into changing its shape, but it's still possible. The only part that wouldn't change is the aether vein itself.
Which will need to be cut if we're going to put it in the bag of holding.
Would if we're changing the shape of the quartz, would we destroy its properties at all?
Not the aether stone, because as it was mentioned, you're pretty much melting the outside and just kind of extracting it. If anything, this seems like a interesting way of trying to extract the full vein, um, with a minimum amount of effort.
I mean, just the quartz itself, because
Well,
quartz is still useful for other things.
Would it depreciate in value if it's been magicked?
it
Or would it?
probably would, just
That's
because the
fine.
nature of the quartz changes. Like you can tell once it's been shaped into something else.
Yeah, quartz is a cheap rock anyway. It's not precious. It's just pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, but what kind of quartz is in here with the aether?
Oh god.
That's the thing. It's like it could be clear quartz, it could be rose quartz.
Rose quartz with aether attached to it. Give that to Kanane and watch
Says-
everything burn.
Or citrine.
I was gonna say earlier when Alistair was listing off the insides of the geode that those are all quartz. Tiger's eye is a quartz.
No,
Is it?
what I'm asking is
Yeah.
what kind of quartz? In crystal form. Generally, the types of crystals that are inside of geodes that are quartz, it's usually amethyst and citrine. And rarely it can be clear quartz. And even rarer, it's rose quartz. Rose quartz usually grows in not a crystal form. It's usually in just veins. So
I'm going to say that this is more of a amethyst geode. The real value lies in the aether vein at the center.
But how dark is the amethyst?
Oh my god, we can do this out of game. We'll do this between sessions.
Look,
That's
I've got
I'm
Tinker's
just being an ass right now.
I've got Tinker's
Yes.
tools. I can chisel out a good chunk of amethyst for us to fuck around with aesthetically.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go. Just
Absolutely.
carve your chunks out and then melts the rest down.
Come on over. I actually have some ideas for amethyst. Let's do this together.
Make jewelry with some of the amethyst.
Take out my jeweler's tools, work adjacent to say to get some of the crystal out. I need some crystal for some things that I have planned. And we can get the other stones out in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
mostly assisting Alistair with more like. Say's got good hands and is used to delicate work because that's what she does, tinkering mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, she spends most of her time working with explosives, so.
Yeah, you got good hands.
Also, with that 31 check, Alistair, you also know that the color of Aetherstone can indicate an affinity for particular schools of magic.
Isn't gold aetherstone rare?
Gold is rare. This is not gold. This is yellow.
Yellow, okay.
This one, you recognize that yellow Aetherstone has a stronger affinity for conjuration magic.
Conjuration. Still gonna use it.
Hey DM, with the paths that Say started to mark out through the mountains, knowing that we'll be able to use dire goats if horses aren't good enough to handle mountainous terrain. With our normal huge amount of fast traveling, approximately how many days away would we be following the path that she got to note?
Oh boy.
On goat back.
Because I can definitely do the summoning in the goats with summon woodland beings. I believe.
So I believe between you and Konane, you can easily muster 4 hours of flight time. The 5th hour was because of the pixies.
Right. And we could do 4 hours of travel on goat back if we're in the mountains where it gets too steep for horses.
Oh, Rob also mentioned earlier that we can summon 2 giant eagles with
Potentially.
conjure woodland beings.
So you could get the pixies and get all of us, or you also have a chance of getting, if it's on the table, you have a chance of getting the eagles if they're in the area.
Conjure woodland beings does not summon eagles. They have to summon Fey type monsters.
Oh, I might be thinking of
Conjure animals?
maybe conjure animals, yeah.
There's a lot that have similar names.
Oh boy.
Cool, and now we have a yellow crystal of that'll do conjuration shit. This will not come in handy at all.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, conjure animals is the one where you summon Fey spirits to take the form of beasts, but the challenge rating, it's 1 beast of rating 2 or lower, 2 beasts of challenge rating 1.
What's the CR of a giant eagle?
I think
1.
Is it 1? I can pull it up right now.
Okay, so here's a question. You've got that the item, what is it, the Circlet of Spell Storing?
There's a circle of spell storing, and then there's the crown of the Forest King.
Yeah, Crown of the Forest King allows me to cast conjure animals at least once, and I don't ever use 3rd level spells, so I could cast it 3 times.
I thought it was a ring of spell storing.
Ring of
You
Spell
have a ring of
Storing.
spell storing.
Well, the reason I ask is whether it would be possible to cast Conjure Animals into the item and have Konane twin spell it.
I mean, she could.
She could.
Twin spelling is a target.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Target for the spell.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that's
we
why we
did.
couldn't use it for 10.
Yeah.
But
That
if you
was-
use
yeah.
But if you use conjure animals, you can get 2 giant eagles. Taliesin can turn into a giant eagle. That's 3 eagles. That's enough to carry us. I think.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
math
you
checks
just need
out.
3 eagles.
That math checks out.
Okay. We are moving you faster and faster.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I could if we did that, I would turn into Giant Eagle, fly for an hour, land,
So that would
and
give
cast
you.
it again into the circle spell ring, and then go again.
So would that give you essentially 2 extra hours of flight time?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
hold
So
on. Let me do the quick math. If I'm casting it into the spell ring so that Konami can use it and I can fly as an eagle, that's 1 hour. I still have 2 more spots of it. So I could actually cast, technically cast it once myself, coming out and going back in, and get it into the ring again, so that we could have 2 more. So we could do 3 more hours of flight.
on top of the 4 that you could do before.
Yep.
So 7 hours of flight time.
And
Ooh.
I mean, Say already marked down safe places to land, so we could do shenanigans.
Wicked shenanigans.
Let's see here.
We're gonna arrive at the refuge and be like bathed and had food and had a full night's sleep, and Elaine's crew is gonna come over the mountains like fucking ragged as shit.
All right. Well, 7 hours of flight time would mean you could cover 21 hours of standard ground travel. So there's no penalties there. That would be almost
3 hexes.
Yeah, you know what? After the 7 hours of flight time, would you still have the ability to conjure some dire goats for everyone?
Yeah, because I'd be using one for my circlet, one for spell storing. I would have one last third level spell, and I could then cast the dire goats. Let me actually double check their.
And
CR
conjuring
here.
those dire goats last for an hour?
Yes, because it's the same spell. Yeah, it would be
Giant goat.
yeah, giant goat, and
One half. They're CR 1/2.
So we could conjure 4 of those, and they'd be able to carry 2 each. And we could move at a little better than our normal speed that way.
I'm going to say, with all those stacked in your favor, you can move 4 hexes.
Nice.
Damn.
4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
1, 2, 3.
Insane.
So
we're basically 3 days away, depending on which, like if we're taking the mountains the whole time, or we're a little bit less if we're going down into the valley.
Is there a way that we could land here? Hold on. And then maybe some of our stealthier / animal turning into people can scout a little bit to see if that's safe to cross over and save us several, probably like half a day's worth of travel.
That's so risky. I love it.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, that's only a half a day with the shenanigans that we have, based off of getting 4 now. We'll be right there.
And then
Wait a second.
And then the day after will be half a day's travel will put us right where you want to do that scouting.
Guys, Konani has seeming. We could look like Shatterkai. I mean, just in case.
Would seeming be able to make an eagle look like a wyvern?
Yeah, I believe so. You make X number of creatures look like X number of creatures.
Here, I'll post the info.
Any number of creatures.
I love us.
The only thing we'd have to worry about is how tight is their fence.
And they even eagles even have the same number of limbs as wyverns.
Yeah, that would work. So, Alistair, I'll talk with you after game about the what you're able to salvage from that geode, because I know you're going to be working on it for a while and taking your time and everything.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
take advantage because I'm assisting.
Yeah. The one thing that I do want to do before we end up closing game, I made a quick note of it in OOC. I would like to touch base with Felix and see if Felix has the capacity to cast that spell. I forgot I had a thing.
Okay, do you want to chat with Felix during the current night of travel or after the next night of travel?
Current night works for me, but I'm flexible. I can always do form stuff if we want to do form stuff. That's fine too. Or I can open up with it next game. Doesn't matter much to me.
I was actually wondering if we had gotten a rest on the current night, because things got very murky in terms of how much time we were planning ahead for. Are we still in the present? That was just planning ahead, or
we're still in a cave.
Planning
we're just
ahead.
all looking and
Planning
doing
ahead.
math and
Yeah. Say gave us some solid intel. We're trying to make a plan with it.
Someone else is doing the math.
That's what I was. That's why I was asking to check, because I'm fine with moving the party forward, but I know there were things people wanted to do before you guys start leapfrogging across the mountains. So either way, if you Felix, if you want to have the conversation with Alistair here, or take a long rest and have it in the morning, either way, it's whatever the timing is for you guys. I'm good with it.
Can I? Do I
yeah,
get a
makes
vote?
no man.
I'd love to see it. If I get a vote.
Felix?
I was just gonna say, it makes no matter to me. Felix was figured Alistair would let him know when he was ready to bring it up. So whatever works for Alistair.
All right. So after we make our plans, I think our plan is relatively set, right?
Yeah, the only thing that I wanted to do after knowing how long it would take, possibly, was to get on the horn to Elaine and send out a message to get an update.
Okay, we'll circle back to that after Alistair and Felix.
All right, so hands covered in little shards. Both him and Say are covered in glitter dust because we're shaving crystal.
Are you still very calm, or has an hour elapsed?
I don't think an hour has elapsed yet. Alistair's just messy by nature. He doesn't have to be manic for that. He'll turn to Felix and raise a hand. Oh, Felix! I think I have a solution. I'd like to take you up on your offer to cast that spell. Well, it's not really an offer. I asked you to do it. Can we do that now?
Let me, oh, hi. Sorry, I was thinking about other things, like those feet.
The goats?
Well, and the goats. But also the feet, so there's a lot of things going on. And I'm trying to remember if, oh, it's not concentration. Okay, cool. Sorry, that was Hannah, not Felix. Yeah, we could do that. Do you have you wanted to hide some jewelry? I don't know if it works on jewelry, but we can try it.
Well, I've got,
I thought you wanted to hide Kanane.
These are almost jewelry, right? So I'm going to lift my arms up and reveal the iridescent silvery mercurial bracers. The metal is like liquid metal.
These are the same bracers you've used to produce those random tools in the Recce camp, right? So I've seen these before.
Yeah. You've seen this before.
Okay.
So, as I understand it, if I'm targeted by a spell or some kind of magic, I have a chance to grab it and put it in to the bracers.
Huh.
I can then use the bracers to put that magic into something else. I can't cast it. It's not like a ring of spell storing, but I can build something with it. So I think if you cast that on me, I can catch it, and then later, at our leisure, weave it into an amulet. I think that's how I want to do it. I'd like to try.
And then it'll be trapped in an amulet.
And once it's in the amulet, it won't expire. It'll just be there. On all the time. So long as someone's attuned to it. Well, yeah, like, I pointed to Say's boots. Like Say's boots. They're inherently magical. So long as she wears them, they make her quiet. I pointed to Say's coat. Her cloak. That's how she walks on walls and shoots web. Or, I pointed the doctor. The doctor's axe. It's extremely brutal. Not because he's strong. Well, you are very strong, Doctor. You magnificent, beautiful man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But the axe itself has a spell in it that never goes away. Just it makes it better.
And you made all those?
Well, I didn't make the boots, and I didn't make the cloak. I imagine if I really put my mind to it. It's not like I'm jealous or anything, but I did make the axe.
Huh. And it won't expire. That's weird.
It shouldn't.
Do you want to try with something else first? See, I mean, I guess it's the end because the only like it doesn't really matter. Like the magic's whatever, but the diamond dust. So you think you'll catch it?
I think I can catch it. I am confident that I can catch it.
I think I would like to insight check whether how confident Alistair really is that he can catch this. I don't know why this seems so wild to Felix, but it does. Wow, these dice need some breaking in. 16.
16. He's not a hard read. He doesn't have much charisma. You estimate he's like maybe like a 80, 85, 20, 25, 15? Like almost 100%.
Okay, try this. And I'm gonna cast. Let's see.
Fireball.
No, I don't have fireball.
Damn.
If only.
One in the cave, just saying.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine. It's
like
fine.
How I don't have fireball is the reason why we're not casting.
It's the only reason.
Remind us
Otherwise-
to tell you of the 2DK Night of 1,000 Fireballs.
Yeah, that was a good night. I think I'm just gonna cast. I'm just gonna reach out and like. Well, you can't. It can't be a touch spell because then like there's nothing to catch if I'm touching. But that makes it's too easy.
You could try touching me. I mean, if you well, shocking grasp probably would just fry me. But you could try. I don't know, slapping me if you need to. If that's a
Why would I want to do that?
Well, sometimes you just to make the magic work.
I
Like a shocking grasp, you gotta give him a little, pep on the cheek.
don't do that kind of magic.
Oh, it's very fun. It's very
don't-
confidence boosting.
I believe you.
Yeah.
It's confidence boosting, and that's
Well,
what
I
you
mean-
do. Is it working?
Well, I mean, I'm not, but I feel a little more confident having slapped someone with electricity. I take no delight in causing harm to people. I don't mean that. I mean, it's an extra layer of defense. It makes you feel a little bit more protected.
I think you're both making this too complicated.
Where'd you come from? You're already
She's
pretty
been
well
here.
hidden.
It's a one-room cave.
There's only one room.
I have been here the entire time.
Thought we were all politely pretending we weren't listening. Because that's
I
what you all
always
do, right? Like
We're really
what I've learned
bad
while
at
watching
that.
you all. You're really not though. Like you could be worse. You could be worse at it. And I think that might be better for everyone. So good job. I didn't mean to complain. I was just surprised. But good job. Here you go. Try this. And I'm gonna cast Hex on Alistair.
Hex?
Oh fuck!
Yes.
What level is Hex?
What level is Hex? It's first
First.
level, but I'm not using a spell slot for it.
Okay, is it a saving throw?
No, it just happens.
Hex just happens.
Yes.
I'm going to use my reaction to try to activate the braces of the Quicksilver bracers to try to catch the spell.
I think I'm hexing your.
I'm still
strength.
affected by the hex. My
Because
strength.
that's the thing. Felix thinks you're least likely to miss.
Okay. So, well attuned and wearing the Quicksilver bracers, if you become the target or a card in the area of effect of a spell equal to or less than your proficiency bonus, that's 4 right now, you can use your reaction to capture the spell. The runic script changes to reflect the nature that the spell is stored within. DM, what does Hex look like in runic form?
Fey bullshit.
Also, does it break the bracers, or do I get that really cool like Hawaiian fake shard tattoo that all the edgy kids wear?
So you hold your arms up to you. Well, you kind of fling your arms up to try and like physically catch this spell, because to your understanding, that's what you do. You catch the spell. The lines of runic along the bracers flare. I believe they're filled with gold filigree. So the gold filigree like flashes brightly and kind of shimmers. And for a moment, the bracers really do look like Quicksilver as these golden filigreed script work begins to twist and turn. And they take on a very twisting, turning, almost thorny vine-like appearance that seems to entwine around the bracers. The thorns kind of pointed inward towards where your arm would be. So it looks like the script work along the bracers are just like thorn bushes just wrapped around you.
Oh, I don't recognize that rune work at all. This is a different script.
Did it work? Is that what it's supposed to look like? Felix is like gonna come closer and sort of peer at their runes.
I present the runes.
When you look closely at it, you see that the filigree, even though they're shaped in these twisting vines, they actually do form a kind of language, this runic pattern in the shape of these twisting vines.
Okay.
Does it look familiar?
Yeah, this is different. This is not familiar to me. It definitely stored something. If I'm to assume anything, this is the runic equivalent of whatever you did. What did you cast on me? I feel dread. I feel an ever-present dread.
I think that's just the other thing wearing off.
Oh, okay. So just
Probably.
coming off the high then. Okay, that makes sense.
Because that was like the breathing exercises.
Okay, but what did you cast?
Just now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a little something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, ooh, it's cold here. Well, I don't know what to put this into, but I think it works.
Oh, because now you're stuck with it.
Well, I mean, until I try to catch something else. If I
So where does it go if you catch something else? Because now we could do the other one. I thought we'd do the other one. So we'd start here and then do the other one, because that one's more expensive. And I don't want to be careless with your money, since you bought the diamond dust.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that. The magic gets shunted out, and you provided a very problematic existential question. Where does it go? I don't know.
I guess we could find out.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Okay. Let's find out. Alistair braces himself and prepares to get hit by something else.
And okay, this one is a touch spell. So yeah, Felix fishes out some of the diamond dust that we definitely bought last time we were in the city whose name I can't remember, and will just sort of give Alistair sort of a friendly light fist bump in the shoulder and cast non-detection.
Okay, I'm going to use my reaction as the spell does target me. But I'm going to try to use the bracers to capture. Non-detection is a 3rd level spell. My proficiency bonus is 4. so it should stick. The Quicksilver bracers can only hold one spell at a time, and the spell is replaced by the next spell that affects the user or the bracers.
Fascinating.
So the scroll work begins to change again. And it seems to have reset itself into its original form. Alistair, this strikes you as kind of strange because you're pretty sure you did it right. You felt the same thing you did before, so you kind of like look over the bracers and inspect them. And as you turn and it catches kind of the light of the cook fire you have going, you notice that there's a second inscription. It's as though the golden rune work of the bracers is etched over these finer, thin lines, almost hiding them from view.
It's concealed! Oh, that's so clever!
What's covered? What's the other one go? Still there?
The other one's gone. Did you see where it went?
I'm just gonna cast all the things. I'm sure there's no reason I'll need any of this magic anytime in the near future.
You hear a rumble outside the cave. No.
I will cast Detect Magic and see if I can figure out where Hex went.
Okay.
And I guess if there's anything else magical that I don't already know about.
So because you happen to be looking at Alistair and the bracers, those bracers blow up like a supernova. In your immediate vicinity, those appear to be the most magical thing you've ever seen. You see a bunch of other things about Alistair kind of shining with different types of magic, and when you look around, you can see that there are other items that share that same powerful glow. You see the circlet that Taliesin wears. You can see the light from the sword that Say is wearing kind of shining through the scabbard. Just a handful of these items that seem to be incredibly potent. And every other magic item that the party has. You even see probably the most interesting thing to your detect magic is the Aetherstone vein. It is radiating a kind of aura around it, almost like this rainbowy distortion around the vein, just like magic rippling in the air. You don't see any sign of any of the hex spell, but you see other curious things.
I don't see it. Do you see it?
Well, I don't have my special eyes on today. Well, gone like a fart in the breeze, I guess.
Do you have the other one, though?
I think so. Look close. I'm going to point out the runic and point out... it takes several, minutes to point out the lines beneath the lines and start to elaborate on just how clever it is that the rune is hiding the rune, just like non-detection would.
So the non-detection spell is hidden under the runes, or non-detection is layered over Hex?
Hex is completely vanished.
Okay.
The script work that seemed to make up the runic form of Hex has been completely reset, and it looks as though the script is the same as it was before Hex was ever caught, the basic form. But you can see just barely underneath that is the script work for non-detection.
Okay.
As though it's being actively hidden by the standard rune work on the gloves, on the gauntlets. Bracers.
I kind of want to see what else we can do.
Well,
but that's the one you wanted, so
yeah,
I don't want to take it away from you.
As soon as I reach a certain point in the building of the amulet, I can transfer this into it, and then free up space to get a little weird, to experiment a little bit. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll think about what else. What else?
What would happen if I threw fireball at you?
Do not. Absolutely do not. In here, we can try later. I'm pretty good, at I've tanked a few balls of fire to the face, I think I could take another one.
Perhaps.
I think you would incinerate him, and then there'd be no oxygen left.
Yeah, perhaps.
Not here. Definitely not here.
We wait until we're around some healers before we start throwing fireballs at each other in a friendly manner.
Yeah,
He looks like
refuge.
waves a little bit. I'm right here.
I mean, when you're all well slept and we don't need your spell slots for a possible emergency.
Right, yeah, we should probably be a bit more, oh boy, yeah, conservative with the magic.
Arcanely conservative.
Okay, well, I've got some other good ones. So
Right, I'm gonna need to work
I'll
on
let
this.
you do what you want to do with that one, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, thank you, Felix. This is very extremely super useful, indispensable, I'd even say. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope it works forever the way you hope it will.
Gods, I hope so too. We could use it.
Don't think that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's right. Don't jinx it. I'm not gonna jinx it. Thank you, Doctor.
Do not jinx it.
Yiga gives a thumbs up.
We're not jinxing it. Okay.
No, the
I've got
jinxing
some-
was the first one.
thought it was
So
little
if you
something
lost, yeah, no, just little jinx.
Okay, little jinx. Right.
So yeah, just if you lost that one, just be careful that it doesn't get in your way, because like you said, you don't want to jinx the new one. So if it's out there floating somewhere, just keep an eye out for it, probably. But maybe it's just gone. I have a much better jinx. I was thinking I'd give you that one next.
Oh, a good jinx. All right. Well, I'm going to start.
But first
on
things
this
first.
And this thing first, and I will talk to you about that better jinx soon. Give Felix a firm
gives you
nod.
a jaunty wave.
Jaeger
Okay.
slaps his knee. Think through the spell you cast as he just gets it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Taliesin, you mentioned that you wanted to check in on Elaine and company.
Yes. I'd ask for the pendant. I don't recall if Say still has it or if it was passed off to someone else recently.
Say always has that pendant because no one else wants to talk to Elaine.
Oh God, no!
Kanani would talk
Abs-
to Elaine, but
That's true.
Do not let Kanani talk to Elaine.
No
He
one
will
can be-
corrupt her.
No one can be expected to responsibly talk with Elaine.
So I will walk over to say, can I use the necklace?
Sure. Fine. Okay, and I'll hand it over.
I put it on and I tap it, and I immediately start rattling off my message. It is in the chat just for convenience. We're in the Black Fangs. Rough start this morning. Currently 2 to 3 days out. Haven't spotted an outpost or patrol yet. Found a stopping point that a patrol used in the past. Give a sit rep. Are you still on the schedule? How are you all faring this travel?
Okay. You can continue to play amongst yourselves for a moment as I formulate a response to that.
Alistair's going to sit back against the stone, take out his jewelry kit, and get to work.
Jaeger's gonna read from the book of rudimentary spell work that he and Say had been sharing.
Kanani's gonna watch Alistair craft because watching him is fascinating.
Say, have you ever considered turning into a fae?
Would.
I did not feel that was an option for me. Are you offering something?
Not currently. I don't think I can, but I don't know. just that little bit of glitter on you from the work you were doing there. You have definitely kind of a Fayette look right now.
That's fantastic. I have a feeling this stuff will never come off. Right. That's okay. It's kind of pretty.
Oh, crystal powder is basically a virus. It'll spread. It never quite goes away. You'll find it 3 years from now under one of your boots, or in your linen, or in your hair.
I think prestidigitation might work to clean that up. I mean, it's worked to clean up some of the ungodly guck that we've gotten ourselves into before.
Leave me with the glitter and an excuse to not have glitter, please.
I'm fine with that. I was answering Alistair. If you want the glitter, it's fine.
Do you like the glitter?
I definitely don't like the glitter.
Oh, well, I'm a Talison's
Insight
camp.
check.
It does suit you.
Insight check! Please insight check that shit.
Pull up my character sheet really quick. Because I know I have something.
Jaeger totally believes her with the
Don't.
2
No, she was really trying to be sarcastic, so.
16.
Yeah, she was being sarcastic. She definitely likes the glitter.
No, Jaeger's taking it at face value. Hey, she hates
Alistair.
glitter. Good to know.
Alistair doesn't question it. He just kind of pouts.
Taliesin is actually smirks and gives her a knowing look, while everyone else is getting all sad.
You know, if we were able to mix this with a little bit of oil, maybe a cream base. Yeah, you could turn this into some nice face paint.
Really?
Or arm paint. I mean, depending on what...
Sparkling moisturizer.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I've heard of some, rich dandies using different types of creams and powders to make themselves look smoother and more alive than they normally look.
Usually in makeup, they crush fish scales to make it sparkly.
Makeup, that's the word.
Mix it with cheap booze and peddle it to rich, stupid people.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, would drinking amethyst cause you gastro
what
difficulty?
I would think it would be like drinking powdered glass.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It would be very crunchy. You'd have...
You just put a little bit in so it glimmers.
You powder it. You powderize it. I do have a file. Edgar, do you want to file down some amethyst?
And the amulet starts blinking.
I will tap the amulet.
Taliesin, it is good to hear your voice. We are well. Some troubles. It looks like rain. Perhaps a day or so out, depending how hard it is to find this place. However you travel, avoid entering the Vale until we can meet. We have some insight on the defenses there.
And DM, just to make sure, we actually can reply twice more. It's 3 messages out and 3 messages back.
Yep.
Okay. I'll look over to Say. Say, do you want to take over for a few questions?
No, I shouldn't need to. I mean, I think it seems to be well under control. Konani, do you want to flirt with Elaine? We have a couple messages left on the machine.
I do have one more question, but or group of questions, but definitely Konani, or anyone else would like to speak with Elaine or one of our other compatriots on the other side, I can definitely make sure that you get a message, since we have 2 more currently.
He is not interested. He is too sad.
What if we offer yams?
Yams? No. Yams for what? To make him not sad?
I don't know. He seemed to like yams and even fed his familiar yams, which is very unfortunate for him because of what his familiar was.
His familiar does not like yams, and he sent back a yam to us as a omen of
Doom.
Oh,
I don't know. Elaine
Nakatos hates
Elaine.
yams.
I can't think of anything serious or humorous to ask Elaine.
Did you say how far off he was from the refuge?
Yes, he said he was a day, maybe two, depending on travel. They just hit some rain,
Right.
so
Right,
we're
right.
very likely to hit rain tomorrow in our travels.
Do we need to warn him about the possibility of drakes around here? What with this cave being empty and all, we can assume that its way might be just as uneventful.
Well, that was part of what I mentioned in my first message to him. We haven't run into a patrol yet. We're in a place where a patrol had been. Uh, I was actually thinking about asking him uh, a little bit more clarification because it sounds like his friends that he's traveling with know more about what's in the veil specifically. So I was gonna ask a little more of a clarifying question across that,
Oh,
and make sure he was a little. But back to one of your first questions, he was a little bit vague on how far out they were because they're not exactly sure where the refuge is. So he assumes a day based off of where it was noted, but moving about in the mountains trying to find the location could be more.
Taliesin, do his friends know where the machine is?
The machine. Is that the thing you mentioned in passing a little bit ago?
Yeah, the Eldritch engine. Some kind of device, some kind of arcane relay, a large runic array, possibly. Something with lots of shiny stones and special writing around it. It could take any number of forms. Oh, God, so how much do these people know about magic?
I
Is
can
there...
definitely come up with a question for that based on what you're describing. Clearly, you're referring to some runic and possibly like aether stones powering it. So at least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm sure that Elaine's quite clever. He can probably suss it out, do some translating with his new friends.
As Taliesin gets back to work formulating a message.
I quickly set aside and okay, trying to reword this in my head really quick just to get the most out of the message.
And the party discusses edible glitter. Is that the conversation that's going on?
Edible glitter. So it's probably mica that they put in the edible drinks or the edible food arrangements. Amethyst isn't too far from mica. It's a lot harder. It's actually quite far from mica. You'd have to grind it down very, very fine.
Right. So it would be bad to consume, obviously, but
probably.
Why would you need to consume it in the first place?
To wear though would be fine.
Oh, absolutely. Amethyst, you can cut it into rocks. Rocks. Listen to me. You can file down and polish the rocks into jewelry, make earrings, rings.
Oh no,
amulets.
I was still talking about this glitter situation.
Oh, the glitter. You just don't get it in your eyes. Good God, don't get it in your eyes.
Okay.
As Alistair goes and starts to wipe his eye.
Don't wipe your eye with your hands.
Huh? Who? Huh? Oh! Oh, darn! Oh dear! Oh no!
She's prestidigitating him.
Prestidigitation doesn't work on glitter, you fool.
She's doing.
Ask any gnome.
As hard as she can.
Kanane, make an Arcana check.
10.
About half the glitter disappears.
So theoretically, if she does it twice, it'll all disappear.
You have to make another Arcana check.
She's going to.
Don't roll a 1. I like having eyes.
It's a 17.
That glitter is gone.
Oof.
So you think?
Alistair's eyes still kind of twitchy, kind of red and wet. Oh, thanks. So don't touch it to your eyes. Don't make my mistakes.
Learn from my mistakes.
So why are we eating glitter?
Oh, because you want your insides to look as pretty as your outsides.
But you can just get rid of it. Unless there's a market for glittery corporal, like.
I think it would only benefit those who would have a transparent body.
But doesn't it take years?
Like a
and
gelatinous
years
cube. Like a gelatinous cube!
Corporalite takes a long time to create.
We are not going towards any gelatinous cubes.
No! And if we use powder, we can avoid one!
I have had quite enough of gelatinous cubes and all things underground for a lifetime.
I would rather not be inside another one. That was unpleasant.
Oh no, don't recommend it. Absolutely not. It's quite acidic.
I wonder if anyone's ever dug up any sparkly corporalite.
Well, corporalite typically doesn't typically have a sparkle to it. Sometimes it does have some banding depending on what was eaten. You know, the hundreds of thousands of years ago when it was eaten.
What if they ate glitter?
Then it would probably be very sparkly corporalite.
I raised my hand really quick.
What is coconut?
Taliesin.
Sorry to interrupt. I want to get this message out to Elaine really quickly, and I don't know if anyone else talking comes over the crystal. But I am really interested in what you are talking about, because it's interesting on a level. And I touch the crystal. And I start saying, you have confirmation that the outpost is actually in the Vale, not in the mountain ranges? We had planned to avoid the Vale except at a crossing. To your friends Nova Large Machine, a tower or some such with runic and aether stones. It's blocking messages and teleportation, we believe. And right after I finish saying that, I look over to Alistair. Was that good enough?
That sounds right. Do we have any more words?
I maxed. I had sat here for a moment, really counting. That was all the 50 that I could use, but we have one message left. So based on the response, if you would like to take over, I start lifting the necklace off my head.
No, I'm fine. We'll wait to see his response, and if he needs clarification, maybe just point out that we're talking about an eldritch engine. He'll probably know what that means. Gods, I hope he knows what that means. He's a sage.
I mean, we know that the sages kind of specialize in certain things. It's not beyond reason that he might not know, but Eldritch Engine seems kind of connected to things that would have happened in the first city, and where Taro was just, so maybe Taro would know.
If Elaine doesn't know and Taro doesn't know, Vera will know. She's quite smart.
True.
So glitter.
Do you think Vera would like the glitter? It's purple. It would match her complexion.
I don't know.
It's whimsical, and she's not currently trying to save her brother anymore. It's possible that she has a lighter side that we don't know about.
Do you want to make glitter out of the geode?
Not the whole geode, some of
Not
it.
the whole.
Where are we going to put the glitter?
In the bag. Well, in bags. Oh, we need more bags. Oh dear.
Do we have any empty potion bottles? I think with the stopper and the structure, it's less likely to pop open on accident, and it makes it a little bit safer to carry around in your bag there.
Sec. He starts digging through the bag of holding. I've got a fine glass bottle. I've got a single vial. I've got 3 syringes. Oh yeah, that's what it was for. I've got got a scone. Oh nope, that's a rock. Nope, that was a scone. Now it's a rock. Flask of oil. Well, I need the oil. I can't just dump it out.
Okay, the wait between the flashing light is a little longer this time, but eventually the light does flicker through.
I will, seeing that there's been a quick lull, I'll tap the circle, the necklace again, so the message comes through.
There is more than one outpost. The presence here is larger than anticipated. You think there's a machine causing the interference? They say there are many machines here built by something called goblins. They don't think very highly of them. Many of their machines explode.
Many of the machines explode.
Huh.
You might want to specifically call out the Eldritch engines so that he is not thinking of general machines.
Yes, and them noting just now that there are multiple outposts instead of just one is concerning. I mean, granted, forces are split up a little bit more, but at the same time, oof. Okay. Let me start working on this message. I'll run it by you guys before we send it. And I look around the group. Are we sure that no one else wants to get a word into Elaine or anyone else?
Ask if Vera likes glitter. Apparently that's a discussion point.
Oh yeah, purple, deep purple glitter.
Purple glitter.
It's not quite violet. It's more of a lavender. No, there's violet in there. So Eldritch Engines does very like glitter. That should do it. Worst case scenario, he asks around and we get an answer tomorrow.
Certainly the 2 most important facts to know. And Say says that with a grin, like she's clearly fucking around.
While the final message is being drafted, we will be closing up shortly. I plan for the next in-game day to be dominated by traveling, since we already calculated that you can make 4 hexes by the time you need to rest. I'll tell you in advance that you will all benefit from a long rest tonight, so you'll wake up fresh-faced and bushy-tailed. And if there's any moments you'd like to play out during breaks in the travel time the following day, you're welcome to use the forum to get some personal time in.
Okay.
But I do want to make sure to get in this final message exchange before we end for the night.
Just to be sure, we're glossing over travel next session? Just docking the spells and calling it?
Yep, you guys have formulated a very efficient way to travel very quickly.
All right, cool.
Um,
We have a method. We have a set it and forget it option.
I'll probably have you roll some perception checks. But aside from that, well, that honestly might impact some things, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Excellent. Not to bust your balls. Just wanted to clarify.
All good.
All right.
You guys have gotten very efficient at figuring out how to travel faster than you have any right to travel.
That is true. So I reach up, tap the necklace, and I say, we're referring to an eldritch engine. Alistair has determined that it is likely causing an interruption based on some insights. Also, strange question not related to current discussion. Oi, Vera. Do you like the purple glitter? Lavender? We may have come across a supply.
Oh, someone's getting kicked in the teeth for this. She's gonna suss out that it was Alistair, and she's just gonna make his teeth more crooked. I don't know what I did, but I probably deserved it.
Just a minute, kiddo.
Okay. There's a rather quick response.
Oh no.
As you activate it. You are very lucky my sister is not here right now. I'm intrigued by the idea of an eldritch engine. We will question them further tonight and see what we can find out. And yes, she does. Now the question is whether he's messing with you or not.
Hey, we're gonna find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I can close all these windows now.
All right, so on that note, we are going to wrap up for the night. Apologies for keeping you this late, but we did get into the role-playing actual game aspect of the night a little late.
We did it to ourselves, man. We did this to us.
Welcome back for game. Thank you all for sticking out, making it this far, and yeah, this was I'm glad this was kind of a softer reintroduction to the game. A few hiccups with Foundry will iron out as time goes on. But
yeah, if people can make lists of problems that they're encountering, I already have Heather making a list for me. Because my brain is terrible. Your brain's, well, I can't speak for you, but I can talk shit and say your brain's pretty bad. Lists. If we have lists, we can try to fix them. Sorry to cut you off. Continue.
Yep. I want to say quickly, thank you for game, Mish. It was really, really fun. I enjoyed it. I have to go take care of a screaming baby. Good night, all.
Oh, good luck.
Oh, good luck.
Wow.
Godspeed. Alrighty.
Thank you very much. I am completely wiped out, so I'm going to drop off. But
Get some rest.
Good
Rest
to hear
well.
y'all.
Have a good night.
I'm now obsessed with the idea of Say like secretly liking glitter.
I
love
have
it.
thoughts on this with Vera.
Oh man, Vera, either she loves glitter or she doesn't. My headcanon, she loves glitter. My headcanon is that she loves purple. It doesn't have to be glitter. It just has to be purple.
The thing is I feel like purple would look like shit on Say.
On Say? I mean, let me think.
Depends. I think a warm purple would look good on Say.
Yeah, with her dark complexion and her orangey red hair, she would definitely need something closer to red purple, like a maroon.
Yeah, but not like amethyst dust.
not pinky purple, no. But that's what we got dye for.
Once again, that requires Say to be willing to admit that she likes glitter.
At least she's
Maybe
not
you
as
can.
tsundere as Vera, so.
Oh, she's tsundere.
Kanane likes purple and she likes glitter, but she's not like about to roll in it like this.
I am
How did the
so.
glitter happen? Like, I missed that part. Like, all of a sudden there was glitter.
So what happened was Alistair and Say were taking apart the amethyst for chunks of amethyst and also aetherstone, and someone said they're covered in glitter dust, and that's how the glitter happened.
I see.
And I made a comment referencing.
Oh, I think I made the glitter happen. Oh no.
Referencing the really dumb thing among short people to like eat gilded or generally expensive but unedible foods.
You ever heard diamond water? Sparkling water made from the carbon derived from diamonds. You gotta love it.
You really don't.
You got to love it. You have no choice but to love it.